Hello, everyone. Welcome to session 5 of Over the Kailjaw Peaks. I just realized I'm dumb and I didn't write my pre-show script for this week, so we're gonna improvise because that's how we do. Just so you are all aware, for those of you that are watching, we have all of our social medias things that I'm going to post in the chat right now. If any of you aren't following us on social media, of course it's on my other Gmail account because this is how my life is going right now. Some elevator music plays in the back of my head. You know the deal. VODs are on YouTube if anyone is not caught up, or you have friends that want to get started but want to start from the beginning. All the VODs are on YouTube, all 4 earlier sessions. Dungeon Brawl is next week, not tomorrow. Don't show up tomorrow. We're not doing anything. It's break day. It's Saturday. Taking the day off. Back in Silas, I believe, is going to be this Sunday. I don't think Chris is bailing for any reason. Mini Paint and Chill was yesterday, so there will not be Mini Paint and Chill next week. Do not show up on Thursday. Just watch some Critical Role. Have a good time. That's really it. Wednesday? Ah, yes. Words. You're not in my script yet. This is why I make a script. I forget things. Why am I blanking so hard on everything? Jesus Christ.
The mystery of the Archwizard will be returning Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Same bad time, same bad place. Welcome to the fun. I don't know why my Spotify is also closed. I'm really just not ready today.
Just big goofs all around, my dude. Shall we vamp while you pull things up? I can vamp. How is everyone's day? I'm eating Taco Bell.
This is sponsored. It's not sponsored.
As my falls on the floor.
This stream is not sponsored by Taco Bell. But if you're out there,
if you're watching, we will take it.
Back in the day, I used to go to your cantinas a lot. I miss them. Taco Bell's like cantinas had Baja Blasts that were margaritas.
I've never tried Baja Blast.
I love Baja Blasts.
Baja Blast. I've never lived in a state where that was legal, and it really upsets me.
Brooklyn, take me in.
Goddamn, Kelly.
Wait, what was it legal? Baja Blast?
Margaritas.
Oh, I was like,
oh.
Yeah, Baja Blasts are fucking illegal now.
I was like, what the
I mean, I think it's just Taco Bell has, like, the particular Taco Bell has to get a fucking liquor license. That's all it needs.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
that sounds really cool.
Pennsylvania's pretty strict about liquor licenses, though, so I don't know if there's
That's
a reason.
True.
Like, you have fun little fact about Pennsylvania: gas stations that sell alcohol in Pennsylvania, you have to sell the alcohol at a different station than you sell the gas. I think it's because if it's a different register, it's part of a restaurant or a convenience store or something like that, and they can get the license to sell beer, but you have to sell the gas at a different register. So,
is that why Wawas are so insane?
I don't know. I don't go to Wawa.
I don't know. It's just like there's Wawa and then the other one.
Sheets. Sheets is objectively better.
I am not from Pennsylvania, so I can't participate in this debate.
It's not a debate. It's a statement of fact.
All I know is that Justin McElroy has a very excellent series called Now It's Time for Things I Bought at Sheets, and that's all I know about it. Highly recommend if anyone wants to waste like an hour of their time.
Unfortunately, I would go into a long debate about this, but I don't think anyone watching wants to hear me talk about my love for Sheets and how glad I am that I live near one again. Not living near a Sheets for a year was actually torture to me. Indiana,
Never been to a Sheets.
the town where I like went to college, Indiana, Pennsylvania. They have like 3. That's how popular it is because of all the college students. Like I had so much Sheets in my life, and now I didn't for a while, and now I do again because there's one like right that way. It's like a block away. It's fantastic. I'm sorry. I'm professing my love to Sheets. If we want a real sponsorship, Sheets should sponsor us. Taco
Sheets,
Bell.
if you're out there.
Taco Bell, Sheets. I don't give a fuck. Someone, please. I'm just hungry. That's all I am.
We just get food places to sponsor us. We just turn this into a mukbang stream instead of a D&D stream. Perfect.
God. My diet would be so much worse than it already is. Alright. Short of all of us wanting to talk about food for an extended period of time. Can you tell that me and Kelly literally just ate dinner, each of us? Kelly is still eating dinner. We were very hungry.
I did not.
Whereas it's still very hungry. So
I have pretzels.
I'm hungry for love.
wow, wow, wow. Wow,
Damn
wow, 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 wow. Alright. Well, short of our food digressions, how about we begin for the evening? And I'll actually make sure my microphone is pointed at my face. Music. Anyone hear music? Because I fucking know.
I can hear the music coming through you.
That is patently false.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We can
Yeah.
hear the music.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it bad, apparently. How did I manage to fuck this up? Please stand by, because apparently we are absolutely fantastic at this.
So a stream of many things, if it's not, audio issues.
Oh, I think I figured it out. Oh, that's very loud from my end now. Okay. Apparently there's a professional audio in the audio settings of Zoom, because it wanted to be like, you're playing music? How about I help you with this? Wow. Okay. My apologies to everyone who's dealing with my nonsense. So, where we last left off, our adventurers had acquired some horses and a cart, and made their way from the small settlement of Splitmoral up to the larger town, or larger city, as I should say, of Alvaille, the home of our lovely Low Norwood. After making their way in and returning to the tavern that was Low's childhood home for the most part, you all began taking part in some minor festivities and joined the festival called the Storm's Fury. Yes, right? Wow, I'm sorry, I am so off today. The Thunder's Riot, sorry. Joined the festival of the Thunder's Riot, where sailors and priests of Gilmarie held festivities every single year in the honor of the goddess of storms. After grabbing some food, playing with some fun little carnival games, and taking part into a bare knuckle boxing tournament, because that was a thing, you all decided to sign up for the main event of the year, the Thunder's Riot. Not the Thunder's Riot. The Storm's Fury. I'll get my names mixed up eventually. The Storm Gauntlet, sorry. The Storm Gauntlet, the annual full combat tournament taking place between various fighters and adventurers of all sorts and origins. to hopefully eventually win the title of being called the Storm's Fury for the year. As you all went there and signed up and returned home for the evening to rest and prepare, you arrive the next morning to the announcement by the head priest of the Church of Gilmarie, announcing that the tournament will begin today with 16 competitors, and that they have a special event for this year's tournament. Whoever happens to win and be crowned the Storm's Fury for the year will face off against the old champion of 20-odd years ago. Introducing a tall, broadly built wooden half-elf, or wood elf, of the name Thananiel. And as this thunderous applause begins with the tournament's commencement and the champions being announced, you all are set to prepare for your event. What would you like to do?
I want to leave.
Okay.
I'm not going to.
We're
Going to. I'm just going to hide in the crowd and watch from a distance, but hidden.
Want to make a stealth check?
Alright, rolling the dice my little cousin got me for Christmas. God damn it, Izzy. Giving me the worst fucking rolls. Hold on. That is a 14.
14, alright. You blend very smoothly into the crowd to the point your friends probably don't notice you disappearing.
My passive perception is 14.
So, you do see.
I think so is mine.
Yeah.
No, mine's 13. I lied.
You are too enamored by the crowds around you, Ayana.
There's so much going on.
Garen, you do, however, just barely notice Lo slipping away into the crowd.
They did mention earlier that they were probably going to pickpocket a little bit, so it might be where they're going.
Yeah, he notices but doesn't do anything about it. Like he's just like, oh, okay, whatever. So like, they just made this announcement. This dude is the champion, and we're just kind of standing there. Or like, what is there anything else going on?
You can see them preparing. A few workers are setting up various props and protections and barriers around the space, kind of preparing as people begin starting to take seats. A younger or what seems to be a cleric, or at least someone who works at the temple, walks up to the three of you, knowing that you are the ones that signed up, and says, "Well, if you before we begin, you guys can wait at the front row of seats. This is where all the competitors will be sitting down while their matches are called." And he points to kind of a long series of benches, more or less, just kind of stuck in the mud.
Okay.
Get over there. And if there's other competitors already lined up, Eloda might, like, if they look open to it, introduce herself to a few of them, just to get some camaraderie happening.
There's a couple people around. A lot of them you see, now that you kind of can pick them out, and you see, like, okay, here's all the people sitting in this row. You can see outside of yourselves there are about 13 other competitors. A few of them look very standoffish. At least one of them, you see a very stout-looking dwarf who's just kind of grimacing as he scans the crowd. There's a small gray-skinned gnome with kind of a large, extremely wide pointed nose. There's a couple humans. One of them's wearing this really ostentatious blue and silver coat. He's just kind of kicking back, reading a book.
Eloda will say hi to the gnome.
You go up to the gnome?
Yes.
Alright.
If they don't look angry. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell. Roll a history check really quick for me. It's probably,
Okay.
You might have heard of these guys before.
I rolled bad, but I'll check my modifier anyway. That's a 9.
It is not a terribly high DC. I'd say you probably got this. You can tell from the very like pointed ear, the extremely pointed ears, and the larger nose, and the kind of really strong jawline, and being a bit stouter than normal dwarves. Outside, also having gray skin. This is a deep gnome or a Zwerfneblin. They're so more or less to say he kind of always looks pissed off. So you're not 100% sure if he's happy or not.
Well, I've already chosen them, so
As you walk up, you see him. He's what's it called? He's kind of dressed up in some small, like heavy chainmail for him, and he just has a pick slung over his shoulder. He just looks straight up at you because of the fucking height difference. He's only about like 2.5 feet tall, maybe 3 feet max.
Is he sitting on the bench or is he standing?
He's sitting on the bench. I was over there, sitting on the bench. I was sitting on the bench.
Over on the bench.
He just looks up and she's like, "Oh wow! Now I thought the rest of them were big."
Loda kind of chuckles and kind of like pops a squat next to the bench to be like a little closer. As close without like hunching down, as you pop a squat as you do. And goes like, yes. I'm assuming you're competing then?
That's what I aim to do. We'll see how long it lasts.
I'm sure it will do quite well. Anyway, it's all in good fun.
Are you competing too?
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, ain't it? What you got hidden away there? Are you secretly some paladin of Bahamut? Gonna smite everyone.
She laughs again. It's like, oh, I am a simple bard. I tell stories. This isn't necessarily my scene.
Well, you got yourself into an interesting situation then.
Yes. More stories to tell after all.
I hear the big fella up there, and he points up towards the dais that has the priest and Thananil on it. I hear he's a bit of an odd one.
I'll have to keep my eye out for him.
Yeah. Well, no matter what, you're gonna see him fighting a little bit. Once most of us have gotten our asses kicked.
Yes, it'll be exciting to see.
So, have you seen all the other ones? They look a little grumpy.
What?
Have you seen all the other ones? They look a bit grumpy.
Yes. I wonder what is with that. I figured this, unless I'm new here, so I'm not sure exactly how the tournament goes down, but I figured it would be more of a sign of sportsmanship than something serious.
Well, that's what they say. So, I mean, most of the time around here, this tournament's about proving one's strength. We ain't here to kill each other, but we are here to prove who's the strongest.
Fair enough. Anyway, I wish you the best of luck.
You too, lass.
Right, and she will go and sit down.
I love how neither of you introduced yourselves. You just kind of said, like, hello.
Who needs names?
I didn't know what I ended. Oh, sorry.
Man
I thought
has
you
no
meant.
name. I just love that you like walked up, started talking to him. Neither of you told each other's names. It's like, eh.
I don't say my name to everyone I talk to. Only people I'm interested in talking to again.
All right. Are any of you guys doing anything while Eloda converses with the rock gnome?
I think Garen is just going to. He'll probably walk around and like kind of size up the competitors. If any of them approach him, he's not gonna like look unapproachable, but he's not gonna look, like he wants to talk, but
Okay.
kind of just meandering.
Most of the other competitors, there's a few that stick out as slightly more like competent people. There seems to be one dude who's just kind of in this really scrappy, like partially wooden, partially plate, partially chain, like cobbled together armor. And he's just carrying a big old fucking hammer. Like, not like a long two-handed warhammer, but just kind of like a hefty mallet you'd expect to be working on like a dock or a boat or something. You do see Eloda talking to a small, deep gnome, as well as a very grumpy dwarf with this bright, fervent red hair that almost covers his entire face. There's a human dressed in a silvery and blue robe, as I noticed before. One in kind of heavier, like nice chain and metal plate armor. At least a halfling that is wearing mostly leathers and kind of carrying several knives along their leg. And there's one dude who's just kind of like leaning back, chugging from a flagon of ale. As he just looks around very casually at everyone. What are you up to, Ayana? You look like you want to say
Okay,
something.
so I do. Okay, so Ayana makes sure that like she takes time to Druidcraft. You said there's how many people? 13 other people.
13, yeah.
She takes time to Druidcraft 13 silver laces,
Okay.
and she goes to each person. She introduces herself and wishes them good luck and gives them a silver lace and like kind of like bolts down there.
All right. You do this to mixed reactions from most of them. Like the gnome kind of happily accepts it and just kind of like, oh, thank you, lassie.
You're
Some-
welcome. Bye.
Some of the others are a little bit grumpier. The dwarf just kind of takes it and just looks at it, just like, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Just fucking runs. You're not 100% certain if they think you're just a random person giving them flowers or if you're a competitor. Like, you can see
It's
the
fine.
visible confusion on some of their faces.
It's fine.
All right. As you return from your flower giving, and Eloda, you walk back from having your conversation with the gnome. You guys hear a voice ring out across the space. We'll begin soon. The first fight is going to be Damon Varnin versus Garen Matthias.
All right. Well, I guess I'm up.
Good luck.
Loda's gonna pat firmly on his shoulder and be like, go on, show them what you can do. Thumbs up.
Yeah, punch them in the face.
He just kind of smiles and is like, I think I might show him a trick or two. We'll see if they are deserving of it.
All right. So as you begin walking towards the inner kind of essentially a fighting pit, it's less so an arena, more so a pit with these like large wooden stand seating kind of encompassing you in a U shape. You see the man with the kind of like cobbled together, like some parts metal, some parts leather armor with his hammer kind of dangling from his hip. You see him walk up and take the hammer off his hip and kind of look around and look at you as you begin walking forward. And as you guys begin to stand off, the priest's voice rings out. Remember, this is a no-holds-barred fight. May Gilmarie be in your favor. May you prove your worth to her. Begin! And I'd like you to roll initiative.
Well, that's a 4.
Nice. I rolled a 7.
High rollers.
My D&D session last night, I rolled either under 10 or I rolled 2 nat 20s in one fight, and I was very happy about it because as a paladin, I just smoked the shit out of it. Anyways, as you guys prepare and begin drawing your weapons, Damon gets the upper hand on you, rushing forward and attempting to hit you. Which, as you're kind of pulling your shield up to defend yourself, you just bat his hammer away from him. I rolled a 7.
Yeah.
So he bashes his hammer away. He has to kind of catch himself and stop from spinning around from the force applied to his arm.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna return a blow. He's not gonna go hard just yet.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that I don't know, a 12. I can't math.
A 12 just barely hits.
Oh. Okay. D8. There you are. And that would be 11 points of damage.
All right. As you bash away his hammer with your shield, you immediately follow it up with an upswing with your mace, slamming into his gut and kind of knocking the air out of him and forcing him to almost falls and tumbles back about 5 feet. And you see the crowd erupt in cheers as the first blow is struck. And some people are cheering a little bit. Some people are saying, "Come on, Damon! Show him what you got!" And, alright. After taking a hard blow, Damon's going to attempt to strike you again with his mace, now further prepared. Which, a 21 definitely hits.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that is 8 damage as he comes forward. You kind of not taking him too seriously at this point. You don't bring your shield up just in time, and he slams you in the shoulder with the hammer. You just hear a slight like pop as your shoulder gets like knocked a little bit out. I'm gonna immediately follow it up.
Is he attacking again?
Yes.
Okay.
As I smack my microphone, that kind of hurt. A 14 does not hit though, so
no.
He tries to swing back with the hammer and just smashes into your shield.
Yeah. So like as I dodge that second attack, I'm going to just reach out my hand and cast a Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. That is a wisdom save.
Dex save.
Dex save. Doesn't really help him. That is a 7.
That is a failure. And
yes,
he
that
takes
is.
2d10 of damage. That is 15.
15 damage. All right. As your shoulder pops a little bit on your shield arm, you just immediately reach out with the arm holding your mace and just fire coats across him for a moment, a bright flash. And you see the crowd erupt in cheers even further as they realize this is not just two men beating the shit out of each other with metal sticks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that ends Damon's turn.
And immediately after that, he's going to cast his channel divinity of dreadful aspect.
Okay.
And that's a wisdom saving throw.
He has a 0 to both of them, but I rolled a nat 20, so
Okay. So like basically what I imagine is just this dark shadow kind of encompasses Garen, and just like from his perspective it kind of looks very menacing, but then just, you know, I'm assuming he kind of sees through it and is not shaken by the sudden like kind of shadow monster.
yeah. For the two of you that are watching from the stands, or 3 of you, you guys just feel this very imposing presence around Garen, almost as if like the light is dimming just around him, even though it's bright daylight. And you look and you feel the force of your divinity push out of you, and you realize he's not looking at you. He is still kind of hobbled over from his getting absolutely fucking torched. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, his lack of attentiveness is saving him in this regard.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to do anything else?
I mean, that's my action. So.
Come on, you got bonus actions.
Really, I can't really do much with.
Yeah, it's fine.
Imagine it's like the
Well-
JoJo, like menacing. Little characters around his body.
All right. As Damon recovers from this and kind of almost not paying attention, like you see the crowd kind of like calm down from seeing, like they all kind of hush and you hear a few sighs seeing this. And then some of them were, you could hear just people in the background be like, did he not fucking see that?
Yeah.
And one of them's just like, come on, Damon! Come on! Pay attention, don't fucking die! As Damon spins up and kind of righting himself and coming forward, feinting with the hammer and kind of managing to pull it over his head and swing forward, smashing into your chest plate with a 23.
That hits.
All right. As his hammer smashes into your chest and kind of rattles your armor, that's going to be 7 damage on the first hit. And he's going to follow that up with a second attack, which is a 10 total, which definitely doesn't hit. As he just kind of like whiffs in front of you, the hammer just cutting or pushing through air.
I mean, how's he looking?
Absolutely horrible. He is in a panic.
Okay. Yeah, so he's just gonna go up and hit him with his Morning Star.
Give him ye old smack with the metal stick.
That's another 12, so.
That's a hit.
And that's max damage, so it's 8 plus 5, so 13.
You kind of seeing him, you just kind of take a deep sigh, and as he's kind of like caught off guard, his back facing to you a little bit from the miss on the swing, you just bring your Morning Star right down on his back, like right below his neck, and just poof, he just gets smashed right into the dirt. Like a little puff of dirt, a little dirt cloud just goes poof, out from underneath of him. And the crowd erupts as you just slam this man into the fucking ground. As the entire crowd is cheering around you, you just hear the priest's voice booming out from the dais. Good job to our first challenger. Garen, Gimari has smiled upon you today.
He kind of does a little, like, he's not like so stoic that he just like walks off and like, you know, he's after, you know, he might actually check on him and be like, you good? If he's conscious at all.
He is not. For the first glance, you're like, okay, he's not conscious, and then immediately, like, you see a brief like flash of kind of this bluish, a little glow of bluish light radiate off him for a second. He just kind of gets up slowly. He's like, what the fuck happened? And you see one of the clerics, the priests of Gilmarie, walking over, just kind of helping him up.
And he's like, you lost, but you fought well. It's like, kind of, if he's available, he'll try to like shake his hand as in a good sport.
You see him just, good match. He shakes your hand back. Afterwards, picking up his hammer off the ground as I smack my food. And he is carried off with the assistance of the priest.
Yeah, he's kind of nods to the audience as he walks back to his seating.
All right.
You did so good.
Thank you. He put up a decent fight, but a trained soldier versus someone that seemingly is not trained or as trained as well, he did not have much of a chance.
I expected no less of you.
Thank you. I expect both of you to succeed as well.
Oh. My stand keeps on falling. Don't mind me.
All right. As you return to your seating and have your brief conversation with your allies, you hear the priest's voice call out again. Our next fight will be Lieutenant Barris Irontooth. And you all see the red, like deeply bright red-haired dwarf stand up and begin making his way to the center of the arena. Versus Eloda. The crowd begins cheering and jeering at you, now a little bit more awake and excited from the first fight.
Good luck.
Thank you.
But he seems a little stout, so be careful.
Thank you.
He took my flower though, so.
Yeah, it's all in good fun. All right, Loda will step into the ring.
All right. Go up. Dwarf's mostly in kind of this thick, like hardened leather armor. And all he's just carrying it. You see him kind of pull a hand axe off of his back. He just reaches out. It's like, all right, Loss. Ready for a good fight?
Of course. Is he offering to shake her hand?
Yeah, he's extending his other
Alright.
hand that doesn't have the weapon in
Yeah,
it.
a little shake his hand. Best of luck.
The priest calls out, May Gilmarie be in your favor. Begin! And with that, let's roll initiative on this fight. I need to put together a proper comp.
All right, that's a nat 20. So
All right, I did not roll that high. Let's go.
there goes my nat 20 for the game.
Just quick question to Shane. Do they heal me or anything?
Yeah, so a cleric will come up to you probably mid-fight to offer you healing for whatever wounds you have sustained.
Okay.
Not many wounds, but you know.
Would this be considered also a short rest? I know it's not like a full hour or anything.
It's not a short rest, though you do gain all of your hit points back.
Okay.
Where's my battle music? Because I realized I have this. All right. Eloda, you get to go first. You get the first draw. As you see,
no.
you see the lieutenant draw his hand axe, begin prepping to come towards you.
All right, I'm guessing that the hand axe has a wooden handle.
It does.
Okay, there goes.
Why is your plan always solely based on metal?
It's not always. I have 2 combat spells. One of them just happens to be based on metal.
I got 1 spell. That's all I got.
Level 3.
Level 3.
All right. I think I'm gonna just start with I know words. Long sword
Yes, you do.
attack, both hands.
All right. Roll your attack.
17.
A 17 does hit. Surprisingly, leather armor is not this good.
Oh, I wonder how.
All right. Roll for your damage.
No, okay. I have too many dice now. I didn't get them all out. All right.
Now this is the real problem with a D&D player. What dice do I use?
11.
11 damage. Nice. As the dwarf starts sprinting forward, you just immediately kind of almost, due to his height, golf swing with the longsword and just slice right across his armor, which you realize it's a little bit more worn than you might have expected, and it just slices right through, putting a large gash right across his ribs. He like stumbles and kind of tucks and rolls past you. It's like you see him clutching his side with his free hand and holding the axe in the other. It's fine. He has enough health to deal with this.
I can make it worse next time.
It's fine. He doesn't look like he's bleeding out.
Alright.
Alright.
And, yeah.
Well, alright. Barris is going to attempt to retaliate to that.
If he's going to make an attack... Do I want to use this yet? Nah, I'll see how this goes first.
Because remember guys, this is a tournament. You are fighting several fights.
Exactly, that's why I'm waiting.
That is a 19.
That hits!
That hits, alright. See, rushes forward, managing to kind of cleave the axe into the lower part of your armor. Thankfully, the leather catches it and doesn't dig too far in. You only take about 3 damage. But it does leave a nice cut right across the side of your thigh. And it causes you to stutter a little bit and have to catch yourself and ready yourself. He's going to go for a secondary swipe with the Axeru. And that is a 14.
That just barely hits.
Alright. Thankfully, this one, as he kind of aims for a chunkier part of the leather armor that you have worn, and this one just slices into it pretty deep, but you can feel the edge cut right near to your stomach. But for the most part, the blow is absorbed by the leather, so you only take 1 damage. I love not having modifiers. Why did I pick this stat block? Alright.
Do I want to keep it boring, or do I want to spice things up a bit?
As he pulls his axe out and kind of takes a step back, you do see he is still clutching the openly bleeding wound on his armor, or on his side.
Mm-hmm. I think, just go for... I want to save my good stuff in case the fight turns a bit, so I'm going to go make another longsword attack.
Alright, roll for attack.
It's a 10.
A 10 does not hit.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
As he almost ducks out of the way, just enough such that your sword just leaves a nice slice right across the front of his armor, just leaving this deep scratch. Alright. I love that he has the advantage because he has multi-attack, but he just has really fucking shitty modifiers. Alright. As he just barely dodges that, he's going to rush forward and just kind of... You see in a panic, he's scared, but he's just trying to fight now. Like, the adrenaline has kicked in. And that makes him miss wildly as he stumbles a bit and just the axe swings in front of you and just cleaves into the dirt for a moment. That was a 4.
I feel kind of bad for him now.
As soon as he pulls the axe free from the dirt, he just swings it up towards your side again. And hopefully hits.
Actually, just for funsies, I would like to cutting words him.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna be like... I think it's just gonna be like a swing and a miss, and another miss, and another miss, and another miss. I get to roll my d6.
Enough fired.
And I fired. And I missed.
And I missed.
Okay, that was really useless, but that's a -1 to his attack.
I think that might have saved you. He rolled a 13. -1, so it's 12, so it misses. As
Excellent.
you see it, like you say this as he's like rushing or swinging forward with the axe, and you just kind of see him like, huh, and immediately just manage to step back and parry it with your sword, knocking it just out of the way. He's having such a bad day. This poor man.
This poor little dude.
I picked a dope sounding stat block for him because I was like, I want a dwarf fighter. Ah, yes, a battle hammer dwarf. That sounds really fucking cool. No, it's not.
Woof.
This stat block sucks. All right, it's your turn.
How bad does he look currently?
Very bad.
Very bad?
Very
I
bad.
still don't want to use a spell on him then. Alright, I'll just swing again. And I missed, because that's a 6.
Yes, you do miss. As he just, honestly, at this point, you just kind of like give him a little cut right over the top of his head, and just a few hairs just go off into the distance. Alright. Oh yeah, you only have one attack. Alright.
There's no one to inspire around me.
It's not over yet for Lieutenant Barris Irontooth. So he's going to panically continue swinging his axe at you. At this point, he's just kind of losing his shit.
Okay.
But he does hit. That's a 19.
Yeah.
So as he rushes forward, at this point, kind of just grabbing with both hands, the one hand just kind of coated in blood from holding his wound, and just swings, slamming it into the front of your armor. And that's going to be 3 slashing damage. I love there's an error in the stat block. A hand axe should not be piercing damage. What book did I get this from? This is trash. Alright. And he's going to quickly follow that up with a second swing. And you see, because of the blood on his hands, his axe, he misses, just kind of whiffs entirely, and the axe just swings and flies out of his hand. You just see him immediately just, fuck. And he just bolts for the axe. Which, you get an attack of opportunity. It's your turn.
Hey. Alright.
Did you roll on
Yes, I
Nat
did.
20!
Oh no!
This is my new favorite dice. Oh no! That means I get to roll 3 dice because of my fucking feature. Or
You might straight up just murder this man. He doesn't have that many hit points to begin with.
He might not come back.
Alright, so that's 3d10.
You could call non-lethal.
It's a long sword.
You could like bash him real hard with the side. Just
I just get. The 9, a 5, and a 3, so it's 8. That's 17 damage. I didn't need all that, but I get it.
is he dead?
That's more health than he started with. That is more health than he started with. As
How did I have more health than this man?
he's a dwarf with a con of +1. He's
That's
not.
my con?
You're a half-orc,
Ow,
like
that
twice
poor
his
dwarf.
size.
Yeah.
I think you murdered this dwarf.
You.
They said no holds barred, but it didn't say murder.
So what ends up happening is you swing for him, just kind of like hit him in the back and just kind of knock him over. He trips at the last moment, and your blade just goes straight into the back of his neck and just sends him straight to the floor, like he is not moving.
Please tell me a cleric runs over.
All you hear is just boom, as in a blast of thunder, the head priest is right there over top of him and immediately just puts his hand on the back of the wound, and you just see a bright glow from that.
This is this man's whole career.
Which, in and of itself, is very intimidating. This man is, like, akin to looking like Zeus. And he just appears in a blast of thunder and immediately just grabbing this man's neck.
Hot.
Garen's over here like,
Eloda looks like she feels bad. Like she's like, oh. Kind of stares down at her hand.
After a moment,
Thanks, savage attacks.
you're just a little too buff for your own good.
You don't know your own strength sometimes.
That's why we don't give the bards weapons.
I can't believe a fighter versus a caster who did not cast any spells.
Yeah, and you fucking murked this small dwarf man. After a brief moment and the light kind of dims from underneath the priest's hand, you see him just kind of like hoist up the dwarf by the back of the shirt and set him on the ground, who's now like barely conscious, and you see him. Oh, what happened? And he's just,
Sorry about that. You, I didn't mean to hit that hard. Put up a good fight, though.
You know, it knocked me out. Felt like the light left my body for a moment. And the priest just kind of like pats him on the back, and just a younger cleric just comes up and just kind of guides him away. The priest just walks up to you, who is roughly your size but much broader, despite being pretty old looking. He just kind of looks at you. Not a bad hit. Try not to kill the next one.
I will do my best.
Good.
Uh,
And he turns around.
Eloda's not smiling, by the way. Eloda looks like very oops.
He turns around and begins walking back towards the dais, where you see the spot, like the kind of fencing along the front of it that he had been like kind of leaning and talking over. There's just a hole blown through it.
I love him.
For those keeping track back at home, this man just thunder stepped off the dais.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
All right. The crowd is kind of at this point, as the priest walks away, just giving like a very confused applause. Some of them are like having the time of their life, and then some people are just like, did she just fucking kill him?
it's like,
How
did we just watch murder?
did we just watch a dwarf die?
So I just stare down at my big beefy hands. Oh no.
Big, meaty hand.
Kelly, Low, from your position in the audience, in the crowd, you do hear a couple of like younger girls just kind of fawning over the priest for a moment.
I was right there with them. Lo hit it very well though, but she was just like, oh.
Oh yeah, no, they're openly just like, did you fucking see that?
How old is this guy? Is he like old man, or is he like...
He looks at least 60 from his face.
Oh.
Like a very grizzled, very like long gray beard. His hair is entirely like gray-white. But he is a very broad and very well-built old man. Like probably about as tall as Eloda and probably a few inches wider. He, like, you gotta remember, he is the head priest of a goddess of storms and combat.
Question for you. Speaking of the crowd, how rowdy they be right now? Like, pretty rowdy, or have I seen the crowds rowdier?
It's, from your experience, having been to the Storm's Gauntlet before, it's normally pretty rowdy. I mean, it's a bunch of dock workers watching a combat tournament. This is what they fucking live for. But it seems like there's a different energy this time.
Okay. I personally am planning on like waiting for it to get like pretty fucking rowdy, and then I'm going to like try to pick out like like those rich kids that like will try to like go to things that aren't for them, but they go to them anyways to like be with the people.
The shelter kid at the
I
punk
want to be
concert.
I want to be on the lookout for those little shits, and I'm getting what I deserve.
All right, Robin Hood. Make a. I'll call this an investigation check.
Okay. I do want it noted that I literally based this character in part off of Robin Hood, at least idealistically. Investigation. That's very good. That is a 21.
A 21. All right, you are on the ball. There is no one within a 20-foot radius of you that you have not clocked.
Okay.
You don't see anyone yet. You do kind of you have a feeling that it's still early in the day. They haven't escaped. They're too lazy to get up this early. So you're like,
okay,
a little bit, just a little bit longer.
I want to wait for them. But in the meantime, do I see anybody I know?
I would say no, not right now.
All right, I'm also on the lookout for people I know.
Okay.
Like just like friends or somebody, like friend of a friend of a friend, you know, criminal contacts of that kind of sort. But that's all for me for now, folks. I fade back into the background.
All right. The priest, after returning to his spot on the dais, just kind of now at this point leaning on the broken pieces. Like there's kind of a hole carved out of the fence, and he's just kind of like leaning on either stubble sharded edge. And he announces a couple more fights. You see one between two, rough-looking human individuals. One looks a bit more like a thug, and one's a bit more of a proper. You think he's probably one of the town guard that decided to take part in this. Who the guard does win. Surprisingly, the well-trained one won the fight. As well as you see the man in the blue and silver coat take on a half-orc man who kind of, he doesn't have any weapons on him. He just has a couple books. And the half-orc, thinking that he's tough shit, just rushes forward, and you just see him immediately just blasted back with a blast of energy. He just lands across the yard in a little heap. So, well, that wasn't that fun. He just walks back to his seat without caring. And as the priest begins calling out the last fight, you hear, our next fight will be Ballymore of Ginwild versus Ayana. As you only gave him the name Ayana.
Well, she did say where she was from, too.
Did she? Oh, yes. So, Ayana of Devar. And
And hop up from my seat, skip over.
As you excitedly skip over, you see getting up out of his seat is the Deep Gnome, who Iloda had been talking to earlier. He just kind of walks up, dragging his pick behind him. It's like, oh, didn't know you were in the fight, lass.
Yep.
Yeah. Best of luck to you. I hope it don't hit you too hard.
Thank you. I hope I don't hit you too hard, too.
Mighty kind of you. And he just kind of takes a couple steps back, puts a respectful distance between the two of you. And you hear the priest shout, May Gilmoy be in your favor. Begin. And I'd like you to roll initiative.
Okay.
So we speed run these combats, so we're not sitting here for 7 rounds of combat, or 7 different battles.
An 8.
An 8. He rolled, if I actually pull up the stat sheet, because that would be smart of me.
I won. Ooh.
You might have. I only rolled a 7, but he has a +2. So he has a 9.
So.
You both rush forward, and he's just a little bit ahead of you, just a little bit. He
Damn.
swings up the war pick up towards you, kind of like jumping into the air and swinging it at you. And that's a 23.
Oh, that hits.
Yeah. As you immediately have Warpick slam into the front of your chainmail, you can kind of feel it stab through a few of the links. You're gonna take 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And as he kind of stops and takes a step back, you see his hand reach behind his back to grab something that you're not 100% certain what.
Okay. Fuck. You know what? I'm gonna go and can I back up a little bit without him like attacking me or like getting?
He's still pretty close. You think you probably would, like, you might not get away from it without it getting hit at least once.
Okay, never mind then. Fine. That's gonna be really close spell work, but it's fine. I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Alright, roll for your attack, and this will be at disadvantage because you're within 5 feet of him.
Okay. Well, you know, it's fine.
It's a fun fact about whenever you're short people fighting tall people, you typically want to stay pretty close to them.
And confirm.
That's a
Confirm,
6.
Tiny black belt.
Sorry, no. I'm 6. 11.
11. That does not hit, as the guiding bolt kind of gleans off the as you see underneath his cloak, a heavy kind of steel pauldron, and just blasts off into a spark of kind of pinkish green glitter.
Ah, that's fine.
Alright, would you like to do anything else with your turn?
No, I don't get any other bonus actions.
Alright.
That's it.
He is... Oh, he's not the one with that. Sorry. It's like, oh wait, I know what stat block I'm using. He's gonna take about... He's actually gonna dodge back quickly. If you'd like to make an attack of opportunity with your
Yes.
Your mace.
With my
Your mustard.
My mask.
Your
My mustard?
Your bottle of mustard.
17 to hit.
17 does hit.
Cool.
Critically hits. It stains. And they get
Ah.
mad.
It gets in his eyes and starts burning.
Yeah.
Like, ah!
5 damage.
5 damage, alright. As he backs up and you manage to, like, slam your mace into his stomach. Not with a whole lot of force, but enough to kind of knock him back a little bit. Which, for him, is at least thankful that he got back a little bit further. And all you see is his backhand throw forward, and a dart just shoots through the air. Which, thankfully, for you, is a 15 to hit.
Misses.
So as he throws the dart, you kind of just turn out of the way a little bit, and it just bounces off of your pauldron at this point, kind of mimicking the same way. And you do kind of get sprayed a little bit. You feel a couple droplets of liquid hit your face.
Damn it.
Alright, that is the end of his turn.
Okay, cool. So he backed up.
Yeah, he backed up 5 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. Do I want to try that or? Yeah, I'm gonna try guiding bolt again.
Okay, roll for attack without disadvantage this time.
Ooh. That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20 also hits.
Yay. Okay.
I feel like this man's about to get his whole day wrecked.
Speaking of not trying to kill people.
Ayana just blasts somewhat like a hole straight through a competitor.
Just like a hole in his chest.
Okay, so that is
Unintentionally a murder hobo party.
Like the one person, Garen, that might actually look like he's going to murder somebody doesn't, but the rest of the party does.
You know, I thought
So
this
the
through.
two,
I gave the
the
casters.
two soft,
Sorry.
two soft, sweet sunshine babies just committed murder.
Yeah.
Like, I intentionally gave you guys softer targets. I didn't expect you to completely just blast them into infinity and beyond. Alright. What'd you roll?
13.
13
damage.
does not hit.
No, 13 damage.
13
I already-
damage. Oh, sorry, yes. Blah, 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 blah. My brain is completely other places. Yes, you reach out with your kind of free hand underneath your shield and just shoot out this bright, sunshiny, kind of almost the color of like a sunset to a degree, beam of light, and it slams into his chest, just and he just knocks him a few feet back and skids on the ground unconscious. Fucking cleric.
Sorry! I didn't mean to hit you that hard.
The man is unconscious as the crowd's just applauding wildly. They're like, "Did you see that? The little girl with her fucking flowers in her hair beat the shit out of that gnome."
I love being home.
Rex.
I love being home so
Yes.
much.
They beat the shit
Gonna-
out of them.
Take my little skirt that I have attached to my armor, and I'm just gonna kind of like curtsy the skirt.
Crowd's going wild. As you see, one of the younger clerics walks up to the gnome, just kind of looks at him, shakes his head, and just puts his hand on his chest. And you see a bit of like bluish white light shine out before the gnome's going, "Huh, I'm awake, I'm awake. Where's breakfast?" Oh, shit. I didn't think. What? Where am I? I'm in a fight. Am I dead? Is this the afterlife? You're dressed in black. Are you the Grim Reaper? The cleric just kind of like
You're never gonna take me alive.
just puts his hand on his head and just turns around and walks away from him.
Oh, before I leave the pit, I'm gonna quickly lean down for a second on the ground and then Druidcraft a silver lace and then throw it in the crowd.
All right, you see like everyone kind of immediately jump in the local vicinity to try and grab it. You see like one man grabs it, and as he comes down, just an elbow smacks someone else in the face. There's a small brawl started now.
You see it on eBay later for $1,000.
This is, you gotta realize they will take
Fantasy
any
eBay.
reason. They will take any reason to start a fight.
It is fighting day.
Or
The
Eventually,
holiday of fight.
the gnome does get up Ballymore and just kind of like brushes himself off and looks at his armor with the kind of dented chainmail at this point. It's like, ah, shit. Before he walks to his seat, he just walks up to you, just like, that was a good fucking shot.
Thank you. I'm sorry I hit you so hard. I wasn't really expecting.
No, that
You
was
to go
fucking
flying.
fun.
Oh, okay, good.
See, you gotta remember, this
You
is
did
the
really
best.
good.
This is the best time of year. You know, if you like fighting, you can fight all out. And if you get fucking knocked on your ass, yeah, they'll just pick you right back up. Got clerics on demand. It's great.
Oh, well, it is really fun so far.
Well, now you get to have a bit more fun. You got to fight in the quarterfinal now.
Cool.
It's like, good luck!
Bye.
And he just turns
Thank
around
you.
and like wobbles back to his seat, steals a fucking pint off a table. Like someone had set their drink on the stands. He just fucking swipes it.
King.
All right. as with Garen, both of you get tended to by some of the clerics of Gilmarie that work for the church. So you guys get all of your health back.
Ooh.
And the head cleric speaks up once a couple more fights finish and says, "Now that we move on to the next round, we'll take a brief break for our combatants to rest, and we will continue with the quarterfinals." And the crowd kind of disperses a little bit. Some people immediately kind of looking out to start getting food and find drink before the next rounds of fighting start. This can count for you guys to have a short rest. Lo, at this point, you do see a kind of shorter gnome, hill gnome, with kind of just a scar under his cheek. You remember is not really an associate of yours, but you know, one of those people that gets picked up for muscle every now and again. It's a rough looking, for his stature, a very rough looking, very well muscled gnome. You remember his name is Jonas.
I'll go sneak up behind him and just kind of poke him on the shoulder and be like, "Jonas, it's so good to see you."
He just turns around, kind of very rough face with this 5 o'clock shadow. "Oh, hello! When'd you get back into town?"
Literally just yesterday.
"Ah, you come back for the festival?"
A bit, mostly.
Come back for what?
Well, I mean, the festival is work, in some ways. You know, the fam kind of split up a little bit, so I'm sure you heard.
Yeah, it's
but
a real shame.
Yeah, they're getting old.
Well, what about you? You've been working a bit.
A bit here and there. There's been a couple people, but nothing big. I was just wondering if you heard any rumors about the Horde or anything. Just, you know, keeping my ear to the ground about that still, and haven't been in town in a little while, so I just wanted to see what was going on with it.
Well, nothing that I can think of that's really related to the treasure. But there have been some rumors, and some of the dock workers talking about the beggars. They seem to be extending out the territory a little bit.
Rat King's making some moves?
I mean, if you believe in that fucking shit.
I believe in that shit so much, man. Of course I do. Have you experienced the rats before?
I mean, I've had a rat show up in my bed once.
There's some stuff that makes me at least believe a little bit in it.
Yeah, whatever keeps you going. All I know is that they seem to be moving a little bit. It's odd, you know? Most of the time they keep over to the old district.
Are they, like, expanding the territory for any particular reason that you can tell?
I'm not certain. I don't really go over there very often. Might want to go take a look, find out if you can see anything for yourself. You've got a bit more skill on the information gathering than I do.
It's true. I do want to stick around for this, though. I got a couple acquaintances who are actually in the tournament. So, I want to stick it out, you know?
Yeah, I understand that. But
Well, have you been doing anything fun lately besides that? Like, any good shit going on?
not too much. Work's not been that popular recently. I've mostly just been working on the docks.
Shame. Let me buy a drink, we can catch up. Then I'll just, like, lead him off and, like, try to gather any information that I can from him by schmooze.
Okay. My computer is having the worst time with audio right now. There we are. Sorry.
What was his name again? Jonas?
Janus, yes. Janus.
Like jaundice without the D. Gotcha.
Yes.
He was a half-orc fella?
No, a halfling.
Halfling! See, I was having the whole entire conversation in my mind looking up, but it was actually down.
No, you were looking down. I mean, he's a buff-looking little son of a bitch, but he is not not a halfling.
Okay. Alright, dope. I will hang out with my good jaundiced friend for a little bit.
He probably is. Rock worker.
I was born with jaundice. Fun fact.
Damn.
Anyways, that's what I'm up to.
Alright. For the rest of you, is there anything you'd like to do during your break?
I think Garen's gonna go up to both Alona and Ayana, and just kind of you do know that, like, this is not a life or death situation.
Yes?
I promise I didn't think I was going to hit that hard.
Me
He just kind of
neither.
laughs. He just kind of laughs. He's like, I'm just kidding. Like, you all fought very well, and I think the matchups were just a little bit tilted in one side, and that was both of yours. Maybe they will have better opponents for us in the coming rounds, so we do not risk actually hurting somebody.
Yes. Yes, I'd prefer a fair fight.
Yes. I had to at least let the one I face get a few good hits on me to, make him feel like he was able to do something.
I mean, I got hit a fair amount for how 30 I am, but I didn't mean to hit that hard. I genuinely, I'm startled by how badly that went.
Really, I think it was just his footing was off, and your strike, unfortunately, went a different area than I think you intended. So I don't believe that it was your fault in that matter.
I am just glad that we had the clerics there to help.
Yes, the one that saved that man's life is very powerful indeed. It's quite.
He was so cool.
When he showed up, you could hear the crowd sigh. It's
He's quite the presence.
yes.
I want to be a cool cleric like that. Or sea palette. I don't know. Just really cool.
Yes.
I think with how you showed yourself today so far, you do have the potential to become as strong as you desire.
You think so? I want to be
Yes.
stronger. Like have like nice muscles.
Oh. As long as I'm here, I can also help you in that. I can maybe teach you a few things.
Dad
Like
taking his
punching
child
pillows.
to the gym.
It's like Garen sitting there, like, working out, and they're just, like, roaming around, just, like, picking up random weights. Yeah.
She picks up like 100-pound one and just oh.
Falls over. I do think, I think you do have the potential. You don't look it as, I don't mean this as a insult, but when I did first meet you, I honestly thought you might have perished by now, but that's.
Oh.
But you are much more talented than I gave you credit, and
Yeah, if I
And
could
don't
afford
worry.
to die.
it's like,
Well, this isn't my first time adventuring.
No, and forgive me for making assumptions. It's just in my time I have seen many as bubbly as you before, and unfortunately, many of them.
They died?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
They they definitely didn't make it. Despite many of us trying to dissuade them from their tenacity. It, so, but you're a little different.
Should I stop being bubbly?
No, definitely not. In fact,
You don't think I would look good with a frown all the time?
I think the days would be much darker if you started to frown. And I will.
I don't think so, but thank you.
It's like, and then I would do everything in my power to protect that smile.
Ah, thank you.
But we'll also toughen you up a little bit.
As you all are conversing, you hear the voice of the head cleric kind of royal out through the arena. Gather round! Let us begin the quarterfinals of the fights. And I would like Ayana, just roll a d6.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a 6.
6? Alright. Our next fight will be Ayana of Devar
No.
and Jarvis Arbenmeyer. As you see,
Okay.
one of the individuals, the city guard, who's kind of in partial bits of his armor, carrying his longsword with him, stands up and begins kind of marching very formally out into the center of the arena.
Lo starts booing from the crowd.
There is a bit of a, like, despite all the excitement earlier, you do guys feel a bit of resentment towards the guard. There's a reason he's the only one here that's from the city guard.
Just be careful with this one, Ayana. He seems very well trained. He handled himself well in this fight.
Okay.
Just be careful.
Okay. I'm gonna skip over. Good luck.
Yes, thank you very much. Good luck to you too. You kind of
Thank you.
you note he's a little bit of a nervous boy.
That's a mood. Me too, dude.
All right. I would like you to roll initiative. I can turn off the song called Aimless Wandering.
Dirty 20.
30-20. You definitely beat his 6.
Oh.
So try to find exciting music. Please stand by. So I need a proper.
That's what I forgot.
All right. As the priest yells out, "You may begin." Ayana, what would you like to do?
Okay, so bonus action first. I'm gonna go and cast my spiritual weapon.
Oh, all right. Dragon's headed mace appears above the young man.
Can I attack with it first?
Yes,
like
you
right
may.
now?
You can bonk him right upside the head. You can.
Yeah, whack 'em all. Well, that is a 7. So no whack-a-mole right now, I assume.
As the dragon's head mace appears over top of him, you see him instinctively crouch down and tuck and roll out from underneath it as it slams into the dirt.
Aw. And with my attack, I am gonna go and I get him, run up to him, and I am gonna go and I'm gonna hit him with my mace. Well, try to hit him with my mace,
All right. Second whack-a-mole. Let's go.
but with real mace this time. So that is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
This is a good dice today. Okay. 7.
7 damage. All right.
Mhm.
As you rush up to him, kind of as he's catching himself and standing very gracefully, and you guys kind of see this. She has very dainty steps. Just kind of spins around and just smacks him with the mace. Just and it knocks him almost forward onto his hands and knees again. He just kind of like catches himself and spins up, holding his long sword in front of him. He looks a little dizzy now.
Oh, if he's dizzy, can I like spin away without
I mean-
getting hit, or no?
You can try. You can certainly try.
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna attempt to hit you with the longsword on the way through.
Aim for
That
the ankles.
is a 14, so that does not hit.
Yes.
As you
I like
spin,
to imagine. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
as you spin and just kind of like bat his longsword away with your shield, just walking away from him.
Not to continue with the anime theme, but I imagine that anytime Ayana fights, it's like Sailor fucking Moon up in this bitch.
Everything
sparkles
sparkles. There's a light just slowly
Oh.
shining on Ayana.
Honestly, though, well, as she's spinning, petals are flying out of her hair. You have to remember about the petals. She leaves a trail of petals everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Tuxedo Moon.
It's like, yeah, tuxedo mask over here.
Tuxedo Mask. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never actually watched Sailor Moon.
It's okay. Tuxedo mask was pretty much useless. You'd show up, throw a rose, and then disappear.
Yeah.
Well-
Listen, I am not useless.
Same here.
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah, that is the end of your turn. Sorry, my brain just went complete. Just All right. As you spin away and put a little bit of distance, he's going to rush for the sword, kind of swinging it back behind him to cut up across your body on the side of where your mace is. And he's going to miss. A little dizzy from still earlier, he just kind of miscalculates the distance a little bit and just swings a little bit wide of you. Kind of just the sword trailing in front of you by a few inches. Why does this stat block not have multi-attack? What the fuck? This is why I don't pick stat blocks without reading them too intensely normally. But, you know, sometimes things are confusing. Alright, that is all you can do. So it is your turn.
Cool. Okay. So, I'm gonna try to hit him again with my spiritual weapon.
Alright, spiritual bonk. Let's go.
Okay. 13 to hit.
A 13 does not hit. As he kind of like puts up his shield and blocks the hit. Kind of standing his ground and trying to ready himself.
Okay. I only have 3 more spells. I am gonna run up to him again and try hitting him with my mace again.
Alright, not so spiritual bonk. Let's go.
Oh, I don't think that hits. That is a 12.
A 12 does not hit as he
Darn.
steps back and dodges, putting up his shield to just catch the last bit of the blow. Alright. He is going to pull off his shield and kind of rush forward to retaliate. And that is if I can do math, an 18.
Oh, that is my armor class.
Yes, it is. He does, or 19 technically. Sorry, I did math wrong.
Oh, okay.
Still a hit, but gotta give him credit where credit is due. He's not doing so hot.
I mean,
All right.
at least he hit for once.
Yeah, and he did max damage.
Oh!
As he kind of swings forward and just pushes your mace out of the way, he follows up and just swings across, cleaving into the shoulder of your armor and leaving a deep kind of slice into it. And you take 10 slashing damage.
Okay. Wow.
Level 3. Level 3.
Level 3.
Level 3.
Oh, jeez.
That moment when 10 slashing damage is a lot to get hit with.
Yeah.
How you looking, Ayana?
Oh, great. It's like half of my. Oh god, it's fine.
To be fair, you did also take away half his HP too, so...
Listen, I was meant to. No.
I didn't say this would be easy fights.
Oh no, it's fine.
Alright.
Okay. Since he's right there, I'm gonna I'm gonna go and try hitting him with my mace again.
Alright, roll for the attack. Your regular mace or your spiritual weapon?
Regular mace, regular mace.
Not so spiritual bonk, let's go.
Ooh, okay. 30-20 again.
That's a hit.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't have a 20 AC, or 21 AC, surprisingly.
6.
6 damage. Alright, as you rush forward, he kind of looks a little proud of himself if he's not still a little bit dazed from the first hit. And before he can even really fully react, you just smack him right in the chest with your mace and just send him flying back and skids across the ground. The crowd immediately starts cheering for you as the man's just sitting there unconscious in the dirt.
I'm gonna take my skirt and bow again.
Throw another rose into the crowd.
Oh, I might as well. This time I'm gonna do 2.
Oh right, tuxedo mask over here.
2 roses.
It's not a rose. It's a silver lace this time. Well, both of the time, all the times it was a silver lace.
You see yet again 2 fights just break out in the stands as people start brawling over these.
Oh, you don't have to fight.
Eventually, you see
Oh.
the young guard kind of prop himself up, grabbing his shielded weapon from the ground. That was a good fight, thank you.
You did really good.
He puts his sword away.
That hurt a lot.
Yeah, make sure you go see the clerics after. I wouldn't want that getting infected.
Thank you. Well, I hope you get everything checked out. It kind of looked like it hurt. I'm sorry.
I'm actually feeling pretty well right now. And then he looks behind you and
Okay.
sees the dragon mace. He's like, sorry. I'm gonna go lie down for a bit. And he just starts walking off.
That sounds like a plan.
The whole crowd hisses after him.
No, they are all just cheering as he walks away, kind of like tail between his legs. Poor dude. He tried his best.
Very silly.
All right. Also, I realized my mistake. I've been calling this the quarterfinals. This is not the quarterfinals. Technically, this is the table of 8, not the quarterfinals.
No.
I
Okay.
don't know how to math. I prepared enough NPCs for this. I just apparently don't know how to talk about tournament brackets, even though I fence in tournaments.
Math is hard.
Math is
Math
extremely
is
hard.
hard.
This is the table of
After
8,
a
the
minute,
last was table
my-
16.
After a minute, my the spiritual weapon disappears.
Okay. I mean, you can dismiss it of free will, just so you're aware.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just wanted the fun.
And
Of
it's
it.
just floating around.
I just wanted the fun of him seeing it again, being like, "Oh, that's the fucking thing that knocked my ass on the ground." All
Not
right.
the last time. Actually, I don't know if it hit him once, I think.
Yeah. Once you hit him once with the spiritual weapon, once with the mace. All right. Let me quickly write notes. As you take to your seat, and a young cleric comes to attend you for a moment to make sure your wound is properly taken care of. The announcer or the head cleric reaches out. I would like, Garen. I would like you to roll a d6 as well.
1.
1. All right. That means you get that fight. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
Ho, ho, ho. All right.
Wee wee.
The cleric calls out, our next battle will be Garen versus the young Tool. And you see kind of rushing out, putting out his arms to the crowd as a young halfling with all these knives strapped to his hip in leather armor. The crowd cheers. He's just like, yeah, come on, let's see we want to see a fight.
All right.
So
Garen just kind of, yeah, he just kind of casually walks out. You know, he's just doing the, prepping. Just gets his Morning Star out with it and shield up.
Halfling walks up to you. All right, it'll be a good fight. And sticks out. It's very small, very kind of like thin hand. Doesn't look very muscular at all.
Yeah, he puts his Morning Star and shakes his head and he's like, let's make this interesting.
Oh, I intend on it. He steps back and pulls a short sword off of his back. And you hear the head cleric's voice ring out. May Gilmore be in your favor. Begin! And I'd like you to roll initiative.
Dirty 20.
I'm rolling shit initiative today. That was a 6. Alright. As the halfling begins to prep to rush forward towards you, what would you like to do?
I'm just going to make a straight attack.
Alright.
And that's a nat 20.
Alright.
So, where are you? That's 11. That is 17 damage.
Alright. As the halfling rushes towards you with his short sword drawn, you just kind of, from under or behind your shield, you just underhand swing right up into him. Just slam it right into his gut, and you just see him go landing on his ass about 10 feet back.
Yeah, like from the follow through, he just kind of circles to the background and then just gets it ready again.
All right. You see the halfling kind of just, holy fuck! All right, this is gonna be fun. He just slowly picks himself out of the dirt, grabs his short sword, and you see him pull a dagger off of his hip. All right. If you have nothing better to do, he's going to rush forward, flip the dagger around, and yeah, I'll say he does this. He just sticks it out, and you just see a white glow for a second, and then just a blast of frigid air and ice just shoots straight out of it at you. And that is, I don't believe, a hit. A 14.
Nope.
Yeah. Seeing this coming and seeing him stick the knife out for a moment, you manage to catch yourself and put yourself behind your shield to catch most of the ice and keep it behind, or keep yourself safe as the shards of frozen water just slice past you into the air. Some of them bash off of your shield and just kind of leave a spray of snow in the air. And he just looks at you, like, all right, that wasn't too bad. And he's going to get into a defensive stance and prepare for the next round, or next attack.
He's just gonna come at him again.
Give him a big old smackaroo.
16.
16 does hit.
All right. And that's max damage.
All right.
So 12. Or no, 13.
13 damage.
Yeah.
As the halfling, whose name you assume is Tool.
Cool.
I love him.
That's what the announcer said.
Yeah.
You see him prepare with the short sword and the dagger in hand, kind of ready for whatever you come forward with. You just kind of barrel down on him, bash him with the shield, and then just slam the mace down on his shoulder, and you just send him skidding across the dirt again. This time, he does not get back up. The crowd around you just immediately erupts, watching this little fucker get knocked completely sideways. He actually lands in the stands a little bit in front of the other competitors, and the dwarf just kind of like boots him a little bit.
So that essentially was a 10-second fight.
Yeah, no, it was kind of
It's just
smack, floop, boom, boom, and done.
yeah.
We're done. And one of the clerics just kind of walks over. It's like, I don't get paid enough for this. And then begins tending to the halfling.
Same thing. He's gonna go once he's resurrected. He's gonna go check on him and be like, "You good?"
Yeah, that was. He just kind of falls back, immediately knocked unconscious again.
He just kind of like pats him and he's like, "You're good," and just kind of again just casually walks back out.
All right. The next fight, you guys hear the announcer or the cleric call out. Next, Ova Hedendar versus Ivan. And you see a large Goliath. Not really any armor on, short of some furs and leathers. Seemingly almost traditional tribal attire. Walks out with a large axe over his shoulder. And you just see a kind of average, maybe a little bit above average height, fairly dark-skinned man with a beard kind of tied into a braid in front of him, with his hair slicked back and just kind of covered in these white cloth cloak and robes. And most of his clothes are these kind of like off-white eggshell. They were probably white at some point, but traveling has made them a little bit dingy over time. And you see as the fight begins and the cleric sets them off, the half-orc immediately swings down the Goliath swings down the axe, which his opponent, the Ovar, dodges back out of the way, pulling a scimitar. As I drop literally everything, don't mind me. As he draws a scimitar and a dagger from underneath his cloak, and you just see in a quick whirlwind, there's just shing shing, dum, as two cuts are immediately launched across the Goliath's chest, leaving nice large gashes, and a dagger is just immediately stuck into his throat, and he just. That was my pen. It fell on the ground. The crowd takes a second to start cheering as they're kind of all just like, "What the fuck just happened?" But immediately they're just cheering and jeering, clapping, and roars of applause come out. Two of the clerics now coming out kind of unsure of how to tend to his wounds for a moment before just kind of Ovar walks over, very gently retrieves the dagger from the man's throat, pulling a cloth out to kind of wipe it clean, and just puts it back under his robe. The cleric's then healing him and tending to his very quick wounds. Alright. Our next fight will be Loda Amber Grove versus Alamir Din. And Loda, you see the what you now realize is a spellcaster in the bright blue and silver coat just walk out into the field.
Not a caster.
My one
It didn't
weak-
close.
I mean, theoretically, there's a lot more weaknesses that dwarf just couldn't hit any of them.
He was having a bad day. What do you want from him?
She offers to shake his hand.
He just walks forward with kind of this bright smile. And well, best of luck to you.
And to you as well. I'm sure this will be an interesting one.
That's all I'm really here for.
She smiles at him.
You see him take a step back, his hand kind of pulling one of the book off of his belt that's kind of attached in a loose leather bag. May Gilmarie be in your favor. You may begin. And as usual, let's roll initiative.
Ooh. 21.
21. I rolled well for once, but not quite that well. 17, so you do get to go first.
Alright, I'm gonna go with the classic. Wait, yeah, no weapons. I'm assuming no plate armor. Okay, yeah, going with my classic longsword move.
Alright, roll for attack.
That was so close to fine. So that is a 23.
A 23 does hit.
Alright, and just for fun, I am going to use my, Orcish Fury, extra damage, so I get to roll an extra die.
Okay.
So it is 16 damage.
16 damage. Alright. As you rush forward towards him, no weapons in hand, nothing seeming to visibly defend him. And immediately you cut down with your longsword, kind of reaching from chest or shoulder down to his chest. And you slice through the front of his shirt, though you feel a bit of resistance. Almost like some unseen force underneath it manages to kind of it's cutting through something else. But you do manage to leave a nice cut right across his chest that begins kind of bleeding out. As he steps back, kind of holding it. I like that shirt.
Sorry. Just kind of smiles. It's like, oh, we can get you a new one.
Alright. Is that your turn? Alright. As he steps back, just like, alright, this will be interesting. You see his free hand come back, and just a bit of vapor, greenish yellow vapor, begins forming out of his hand before a bit of kind of liquid and slime begins to ball up and appear just out of air. And he's just gonna pull it back, as you see it just kind of stretch and elongate, and just lets it go, and it shoots forward towards you. Let's see if... And that is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Alright. Do I have the right dice for this spell? I don't know. Wizards, why do you make these spells so fucking weird? Alright. Well, you take... That's... Yes. 7 acid damage as this bolt slams into your body and you feel the corrosion begin seeping through your clothing and stinging against your skin, leaving kind of this mass burning sensation across the front of your body.
Ouch.
And you are also going to take damage later.
Fine.
Yeah. He just kind of takes a step back. Alright. What next? He just holds his arms out ready, watching you.
Like, well, that seemed to not work as well as I liked before. Thought he's supposed to be squishier. Well, no. I was like, I rolled my extra die. He did not seem unbothered. He did not seem too bothered. And now I'm sad. I'm rethinking my life.
I mean, he's definitely bleeding a lot. Like,
okay, he's bleeding a lot. You know what?
Despite the outward confidence, there is like a solid stream of blood going down the front of his shirt.
Okay, so I'm saving all my spells in case. I don't know why I'm saving all my spells, but I'm saving them just in case. I'm saving them so I can use metal later. I'm gonna fight someone in plate armor and I'm gonna ruin their day.
Hoping for that one dude in metal.
So, one dude in metal. So yeah. Long sword again. Rush up to him. Ooh. 16, that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 also hits.
Nine damage.
Alright. 9 damage as you rush forward, lunging with your blade. And despite him managing to turn a little bit out of the way, you actually leave a nice solid gash across here, almost poking a hole through the jacket on the other side, but he kind of just steps a little bit back, holding it out. It's like, no, not the jacket. He's starting to look a little bit haggard after he says that. He's just, alright. Alright. And he is going to... should he do? Oh yeah, it was the end of your turn, so you take more damage.
Ugh.
You take 5 more acid damage. You feel the acid stuck to your body, still continuing to sting and burn into your flesh. And he winds up, and you just see, instead of the vapors of before, you just start seeing a purple electricity crackle across his hand. And as he swings and shoots it out, you see a bolt of purple lightning shoot towards you. And I believe that is a 17.
Yeah, that hits. I need new armor.
Alright. As the lightning shoots towards you and kind of slamming into your chest, and immediately you feel your body tense up as your muscles begin fighting and flexing reflexively. You're going to take 11 lightning damage.
Okay, so that drops me to 0. But I have relentless endurance.
So you have 1 hit point.
I have 1 hit point, and I get to make a spell as a I get to make an attack as a reaction.
Oh.
Okay. As you feel kind of like your consciousness drift for a moment, and you just feel the adrenaline start pumping in your body, you just kind of shake through it and begin swinging forward with your sword.
That is a 19.
A 19 does hit.
I believe I...
It's the comeback of the century.
Is 3.
3 damage.
Not winning this fight, but you know what? I'm doing it worse. And this does not count as my turn. This counts as my reaction.
Yeah, it is your reaction. As fighting through the lightning, tensing your muscles and the haze in your head from nearly losing consciousness, rush forward, swinging at his open arm and just kind of leaving a nice heavy cut right across the front of his forearm, leading into a bit of a gash into his stomach, or into his right under his arm on his chest. All right. As you continue to fight through the lightning that's adhering to your body, as his hand is still stuck out. I believe technically is this concentration? Yes. So he has to make a con save, which he doesn't make. So as you rush forward and slice through his arm and his body, you see the lightning flicker for a moment before releasing from your body. As you stumble forward for a second, your muscles finally relaxing again.
Does this mean it's my turn now?
It is, in fact, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna keep on doing my favorite thing. So I'm sorry. 18.
And 18 hits.
9 damage.
9 damage, alright. As he kind of recoils from having his arm sliced, he steps back, kind of trying to keep the book away from you as well as his now damaged arm. You just rush forward, slicing through him and just kind of tackling him, knocking him over onto the ground. As you see kind of his eyes just drift closed. The crowd begins roaring after seeing this very flashy battle.
Flashy on his end. I was just like, no, sword.
As you bow a little bit, you feel the kind of the dizziness of like, ah, shit, I'm really fucked up right now.
Yeah.
Immediately, 2 of the clerics come up, one to each of you. One of them heals his wounds in front of you, which takes a little bit of time given the extent of the damage. And one begins healing some of your more substantial wounds, including the acid burn.
Thank goodness for Orcish Fury.
That was a comeback.
It's like
Very rock and roll.
that was. Gary's like, that was a very close fight, and fighting against casters is always difficult. So,
Like
that was
if
it's
you
very
didn't-
good.
If you didn't have Orcish Fury, that was Witch Bolt. That was an automatic hit the next turn. Like,
Eh.
you had literally 1 round to survive because of Orcish Fury. Are you glad you finally got to use it?
I'm so glad I finally got to use it.
And it turned the
I'm
fight
sorry I
around.
took it away from you last time.
It's okay. Because this is the thing is like, well, I only get to use it once per long rest. And I'm like, wait, I'm just going to keep fighting other dudes. It's my chance.
All right. As you guys begin returning to your seat, the priest comes forward once again. Well, before we begin our semifinals and our finals, I think that's right.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. We will take a brief respite and return for the last few fights. Immediately, the crowd begins dispersing yet again. Some to find a spot to piss, some just trying to find some food. Lo, as this is all going on, and as the crowd is, before the fight concludes, you do spot a couple, they're just out of place. They tried to dress down, but you can just smell the soap on them. You can smell that they put perfume on this morning. That they're trying to smell good, even if they're in the middle of a fucking dock. You
Okay.
can track them down. You see 2 younger boys with very neat black hair, and
How young?
like
Like
15, like 15 or 16.
okay. Okay. Mm. Okay, I'm gonna jump and talk to them.
All right, roll sleight of hand check.
That's a natural 20 for
Nice.
a total of
Nice.
please hold. Sleight of hand. 26.
Yeah, these kids are just kind of enamored with the fight, and you just see them like, wow. so fucking wild. And while they are just kind of not paying attention at any way, shape, or form, with an inane amount of grace, you just manage to slip a knife underneath their coin purses and just take the whole thing. One of them, you grab his coin purse, and you see kind of like a little like pouch on his belt as well. Not kind of your standard coin purse, but like a little nice leather pouch.
I'm taking that too.
Alright. You take both of them off, slicing the strapping that holds them together, and just disappear back into the crowd.
How much money do I make, and what's in the pouch?
The one coin purse has 20 gold and about 30 silver. The second coin purse is a little bit lighter, probably about 10 and 30. 10 gold, 30 silver.
Oh, I accidentally added Electrum. How many silver for the first kid?
Total, you're getting 60 silver.
Okay, cool.
And 30 gold.
No Electrum, right?
Not a single fucking piece of Electrum.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Electrum does not exist in this world.
Are you
I
sure there's
fucking
no
hate
Electrum?
I fucking hate Electrum more than life itself.
I was like, oh, the next one down. No, it's Electrum. The dumbest thing.
I would sooner give you guys hundreds and hundreds of copper than I would give you Electrum.
No.
That's fair.
I have done this before.
You have. What's in the pouch?
In the pouch, you find a small, trying to find the right word to describe it. It's kind of an interesting little, like, corkscrew. Like, it's a hinged corkscrew. So there's a corkscrew tip in one, but along the other side, there's a very simple folding knife with an elegant little, like, golden ivory handle to it.
Do I think I know how much it's worth?
I mean, it probably is a good chunk of change. Not, like, incredible amounts, but at least, like, 5 to 10 gold.
That's okay. I'm gonna put that in my custom items along with fairy brush and fancy coat. Now, wine aerator, I guess. I know it's not a wine aerator, but
Essentially, it's a fucking multi-tool for rich people.
okay.
Alright.
As the fight's over, can I try to track what Thanael is currently doing?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay, I probably will have to use my side-bolstered knack for this one because I only rolled a 9.
Yeah, I'll say you can use the side bolstered knack.
Thank you, sir. That's a D6. D6. That brings it up to a 13.
Okay, I'll say that's enough. As you kind of glance up towards the dais, you see kind of towards the back now that they are taking a brief break, you see the head cleric of the Church of Gilmarie talking to Thanael. They seem to be just kind of like eyeing the crowd, looking at some of the competitors as they relax and recover. They don't
I just
seem
want to
to
put
be...
it out there and read lips. So, what are they talking about?
Okay, yeah, I'd say you're probably taking 13. I'll say is enough. You see the head cleric talking to him and saying, "Do you think the competitors this year are worth anything?" And you hear Thanael, There's some of them that are a bit better than the others. The younger girls seem to be holding their own in fights. A little surprising. Change of the times, I guess.
Sexist. Oh, god
It's-
damn it.
It's not said in a way that's like he's surprised that they're winning, as in like he's surprised a girl's winning a fight. It's more so that girls don't, and you would know this from your being here before. Girls didn't compete very often before.
Okay.
It's a relatively recent
Isn't
endeavor.
A female goddess? She's goddess, right?
Yes, Gilmarie is a goddess, though in some areas more than others. Some lean very heavily on her being kind of a shield maiden more so than anything else.
Okay.
But because this is full of dock workers for the most part, who are for the most part more so male than others, it's a bit more leaning towards a more male predominated religion in this area.
Okay.
You can see that the priest is a little bit more tense about it than Anil is.
Oh, Dilf is sexist. God damn it. Alright, I'm just gonna keep an eye on them for the rest of the time. I got my coin. I'm happy.
Their
Elf
conversation.
is not a himbo.
No, he's not. The conversation does drift a bit, and you see mostly they're just talking about the competitors, and they're more or less just kind of like the priest is asking who do you think is going to win? I was like, don't know. Stiff competition. The Haveshi man, he's a fast one, but the other three are showing a little bit more fight than I expected.
Okay. I'm keeping an eye if there's anything to note, but it's more so just a. God damn it, Juno. It's more so. If anyone else wants to see what she is doing, she is currently climbing on my bookshelf. It definitely just knocked over multiple tarot cards.
Oh God, I don't want to
See
know.
what she pulled.
I was gonna
Cat
say,
crimes.
what did she knock over?
Oh, just some tarot. It's fine.
Well, I was asking what card probably fell. Or
Oh,
were they
it's
in a box?
it's in a cloth bag, so nothing slipped out. Or at least I don't think so. I haven't
Unless
checked yet
it
because there is
did.
currently a cat on my shoulder.
Unless it did, and then there was a card that came loose for Juno.
No, nothing.
Aw, sad.
That would have been cool though. She's just gonna be on my shoulder eating my sweatshirt. It's fine. But that's what Lo's gonna probably be doing for the rest of the fights, is keeping an eye on him.
Okay. As you
Still trying to not be seen specifically, but keeping an eye.
yes, they do not look at you particularly. They seem to be kind of just looking amongst the competitors.
That's all I need.
You can see you can kind of see the glimmer of silver in Thananiel's eyes from a distance, which is not normal.
That is weird. 'Cause I don't remember him having silver eyes, right? He had the same color eyes as I did. Okay. Can I find someone in the crowd who looks like they're willing to do a job for me? I want to pay someone to slip a note to Ayana.
There's a small child that you can a small kind of dirty looking boy that looks like he probably would be used to that kind of work.
A dirty boy.
Can I give you a couple of can I give you a silver to go pass a note to my friend?
Yeah, sure. Who's your friend?
The blue one over there. Or not the blue one, the green one. I'm sorry, I'm colorblind sometimes. And I keep on forgetting. I look at Kaylee's blue hair and I think blue character when in fact she is green. The green one. Not the tall green one, the little green one.
The pink-haired one?
Yes, the one in the very gold armor.
Okay, I can do that. And he kind of holds out
He's a
his
sweet
hand.
top. Alright, I scribble down a note. The note says, "Hi, you are all doing great." Smiley face. I am watching from distance, keeping my distance. Kisses, No.
Alright. The small child just takes the note, kind of looks at the coin, just kind of tucks it in his pants. And he just bolts off into the crowd. Ayana, you just see a very small, very dirty boy just walk up and be like, "Psst, some lady told me to give this to you."
Thank you.
"You're welcome. Have a good day." And he just bolts off.
You too. Oh, bye. I read the note. Aw. Look around.
Make a perception check. You did only roll a 14, so.
I know. I just got to lose luck.
Oh, God. That is a 5.
A 5. You see a crowd of people that are much taller than you.
Oh. I'm going to show the note to the others.
Rhoda, it looks very winded and is drinking her water. Assuming they have water somewhere for these fighters.
Yeah, you can get glasses of water.
I'm curious as to why they didn't want to fight, but I guess they were preoccupied with their extracurricular activities.
So you'll have to ask all about them later.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys finish your break in the crowds slowly reconvene around the arena, we are going to take a brief break. So, we will be back here in approximately, I'll say 15 minutes. 17, probably, just so we're at 10:40 on the dot. So, go get some snacks, go have a little bathroom break, get something to drink, and we will see you in a little bit. Toodaloo. And we are back. I realize my music's still playing in the background. Very ominous vampire music is going off right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Welcome back from your break. I hope you got to get some snacks, some drinks, some bathroom breaks if necessary, because sitting around for 2.5 hours is always difficult. I think we should just hop right back into it. Alright. As you all recover and have your brief respite amongst the stands of the arena that you're fighting in, the head priest's voice booms out again. Alright, we'll begin the semi-finals of the tournament. Our first competitors will be Ovar Helendar and Ayana of Devar. The crowd begins cheering as you all see this bearded, dark-skinned man walking forward in entirely kind of white, off-white robes, just standing firmly in the center of the arena. Are you going in, Kaylee?
Oh, shoot. I blanked out for 2 seconds. I'm so sorry. I thought we were just introducing people. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
Just Ayana being like, shit.
It's fine. I'm fine.
As you go forward, you would actually probably recognize him by lineage. The man's Haveshi, or from Haveshva. You can tell from his clothing, which is kind of very standard for people around there to wear mostly white to help reflect the sun and keep themselves cool in the desert, as well as the darker skin and the heavy beard. He just kind of bows his head forward for you for a moment.
Bow back.
And then my audio immediately begins chopping. Alright. He does not say a single word as he just kind of like looks at you. And
Good luck.
as after he nods, you just hear the voice booming out from the priest. Alright. For some of the best fighters in the tournament, may Gilmarie be in your favor. You may begin. Alright, and let us roll initiative. Wow, my initiative rolls fucking suck today.
17.
11. You get the drop on him as he begins pulling out his scimitar and dagger from under his robe.
Oh, fuck. Okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Well, fuck it. I'm gonna cast my spiritual weapon again.
Alright. It's the bright pink and shimmering dragon's head mace appears in the air. Roll for your attack if you want to attack with it.
Yeah. Yes. Seven.
7. Seeing the mace forming
Womp.
just kind of up in front of his face, you see as it swings down, the Haveshi man immediately just kind of, with a surprising amount of speed, ducks back and just swings right past him, kind of blowing his cloak in the wind a little bit.
Aw. Okay.
Alright.
Well, I am gonna go and run up and try attacking
Trying to give him
with
a
my
bonk.
mace. I'm trying to give him a bonk.
Lesser,
Yeah, whack-a-mole.
not spiritual bonk.
Sadly not. That was almost an 11. It was an 11 went. Oh, boom. I was like, no. 7.
A 7. Yet again, as you run forward a little, unsure of your footing, seeing how fast he goes, you just swing your mace and he just steps out of the way again as it just whiffs past him.
Where is my dice jail?
Is that the end of your turn?
That's it.
Alright. He is going to retaliate. I would like you to make either an athletics or acrobatics check. Whichever is better for you.
Let me see. They're both the same. So maybe athletics. Oh yeah. I'm really blanking out tonight.
It's okay.
I'm like, oh, I forgot I had to roll for that. Good job, B. 14.
14. Very quickly from underneath his robe, you see his boot shoot up into the air and slam into your chest, knocking you backwards. And knocking...
Oh.
Immediately he follows up, comes forward, and just swings his scimitar at you. Although
How is it my turn to be murdered in front of everyone?
yeah, I think that's an 18.
Oh, it just hits.
It just
actually, it just hits.
Yes, alright. As the scimitar slashes against your armor, you take 9 slashing damage.
9.
9.
Alright. And that is the end of his
Ooh.
turn for now.
Wow, that was something.
Bonk.
Okay.
Garen's going like, oh.
It is
I
it's
was
worth
doing
noting
so
you are
well.
10 feet away, or 10 feet further back, but he's closed the distance again, so he's right next to you. You're just further away from your
Oh.
spiritual weapon right now.
My best friend. Okay, I'm gonna go and so I'm prone, right?
No, you're still standing.
I'm still standing. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that would
I'm
have been an
gonna.
auto crit if you were pro. Or no, it would have been advantage if you were
Oh.
prone.
Okay, cool. I am gonna go and try hitting. Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna try hitting him with a guiding. Well, he's like right next to me, right?
He is in your face, so it would be a
In my
disadvantage.
face. No, I'm gonna whack him with my thing then, my mace.
Give him a good old mace smackaroo.
The mace smackaroo. Oh, okay. That is a 21.
A 21 does hit.
Woo. 3 damage.
All right, 3 damage as you manage to, as you swing, he tries stepping out of the way, but you manage to kind of like catch him in the ribs and just slam your mace across the front of his chest. Which you feel under it, there's kind of a rough, you kind of feel your mace go and bump across a bunch of what feels like studs hidden under his robes.
Okay. And then my spiritual weapon.
Just flies over.
I'm gonna try. Yeah. And then go and swing it at him.
Alright.
At least try to. What are you? You are. I have to do math. 17.
17 hits as well.
Fuck yeah.
Do 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 do.
This is the right one. Okay, cool. That is a 10.
Alright, 10 damage. As he's kind of recovering from the initial blow, the spiritual weapon just comes up behind him and slams him in the back, and he kind of has to catch himself and pull himself upright again. Kind of trying to take. You see his eyes darting, gauging the spiritual weapon next to him and you right in front of him. Alright, is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's going to rush forward, kind of ducking underneath where the spiritual weapon is, and miss with his first scimitar swing, because that's only an 11. And he's going to come through with the second one, which is a 23.
You know, that hits. I'm gonna die.
As he kind of swings through, you manage to duck out of the way of the first one, and he follows through, immediately turning it over and cuts across your side. That's going to be 5 slashing damage.
Okay. 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 I'm good.
Alright,
That's it.
that's it.
Hopefully.
That's his turn.
Okay, cool. Hopefully. Okay.
And then all of a sudden, a fireball appears.
Ah! That's it. I'm dead. Okay. I am gonna go and Did he step away, or is he still a melee
No,
over
He's
me?
still right up against you.
Right in my face.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Mace again. The regular mace first.
Alright.
You disappoint me. It's a 1.
That is a miss, as you kind of step forward and he just kicks up some sand in your face. And you manage to, while you can't see, he just kind of steps out of the way of the mace swing.
Rody. Trying to see which dice will betray me again. Okay. With my bonus action, I'm going to go and try to hit him with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Okay. That's a 16.
A 16 hits.
Thank God. Okay. 8.
8 damage. All
8
right.
damage, yeah.
As he kind of ducks backwards, as soon as you catch your view and you see that the mace missed, you mean just commanding your spiritual weapon, and it swings, hitting him in the back again as he's trying to dodge and avoid. You get a feeling he's not great at keeping track of 2 targets at once. Alright. It is now his turn again. So he catches himself and rights himself. You can see him kind of twirl to the side of you and swing down with his scimitar over top of his head. And that is just a hit. That is a 19. The scimitar buries itself into the back of your armor and deals 9 slashing damage.
I fall to the ground.
You guys hear just thump, the chainmail wearing Ayana slams into the dirt as she hits the ground for a moment. The crowd begins roaring with applause as the match comes to a close. The sword goes back into his belt under his robe. He just stands there, kind of like standing over Ayana as one of the priests comes over.
That's a bit creepy. He's staring.
One of the priests comes over and kind of puts a hand on your back, and you feel kind of a warm, almost like a warm sea breeze of a sensation as you slowly come to consciousness again. And as you are kind of rolled over and helped stood up, you see the Haveshi man just kind of looming, just looking at you, and he just bows his head again.
Oh, did I lose? Aw. Well, you did a really good job.
Thank you.
You're
You did
welcome.
very
Good
well
luck.
yourself. And
Thank
he
you.
just turns around and starts walking back to his seat.
Ow.
You can still feel the faint sting from a lot of the wounds that you've sustained.
It's not comfy.
Garen will go over to Ayana and make sure she's good. So be like, you put up a very good fight against a very skilled opponent.
Thank you. It was very, very good. I really wanted to win, though.
Yes, and maybe with a little bit of training, you would be able to.
Oh well. Well, good luck.
Eloda, you, just as a little fact while these two are talking, and potentially Lo if Lo's watching the fight, you do notice one of the clerics goes up to Ovar, and before he even gets close, he just kind of puts a hand out and just shakes his head. You see the cleric just kind of look at him and then turn around and walk away.
Ovar is the Haveshi man?
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting. I don't know what to do with this information, but
Did I not hit him enough?
There's a reason. It's just the lore that you guys don't know.
Ellie has theory, but Lo doesn't because Lo wouldn't know the facts that Ayana knows.
Alright. As the fight comes to a close and things calm down a little bit, the priest's voice booms out again. Alright, for our final semi-final. And he just pauses for a moment. It'll be Garen versus Eloda Ambergrove.
Well, looks like we get the rematch.
yes. Another chance to prove yourself, I guess. Kind of laughs and offers a hand. Like,
He takes it and he's like, oh, just don't go easy on me.
I promise I won't. Go ahead.
Alright. May Gilmore be in your favor. You may begin. I'd like you both to roll initiative. I don't have to do shit during this fight. This is great.
Yeah.
That's a spicy 7.
That's a spicy 10.
Garen, you're first.
All right. Yeah. I think he's just gonna go just straight for the attack.
All right.
So, 18.
That hits.
All right. 9 damage.
All right.
Ouch.
What is your response, Eloda?
Oh, okay.
Now that you have multi-attack, it's great.
Yeah. Garen, you wear plate armor, right?
Yes.
Chainmails.
Heat metal, heat.
Waiting for this one.
I'm so glad that this came up.
All right, so it's 2d8. Nice. That's 14 damage, and yeah, it doesn't say to make a con save for that unless it's something you can drop, and you cannot drop your plate armor unless you just want to toss it off.
He can't toss it
No.
off that fast.
No.
I think doffing chainmail takes a few minutes.
Yeah, he in response to this, he's going to Hellish Rebuke.
You know what? That's so valid.
Just burn each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
The deep misfortune that neither of you are tieflings.
Yeah.
dexterity saving throw.
This is
Oh, wait,
therapy if I've
get me.
ever seen it.
That is a 16.
Okay, you take half damage.
Thank God.
Which is 18 total, so
9.
9.
9 fire damage.
Ouch! Oh God, I'm really sad that I don't get to do my relentless endurance again.
Once a long rest really sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. But hey, I got this much further in the fight.
And then, yeah, going to just attack. 20 something.
Yeah, that hits. Alright, this is a short fight.
I will have to point out, like, Garrett is probably smiling this entire time.
Probably.
Sadistic
That's 12 damage.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
You guys see your friends just clash, a blast of flame on either side, and Alona just gets smacked into the ground.
I mean, like, you would think that he would probably like pull his punches.
No. This
Yeah.
is payback.
Yeah, like, and he's not like out to hurt, but he's also giving the respect that she deserves.
Yeah. Listen, Alona theoretically should have been out last night.
Alona almost
So.
was out. That was time. The crowd immediately bursts into applause as the fight ends with a relative flare and flash, but relatively quickly. How much health do you have left, Garen?
21.
Oh.
What level did you cast Hellish Rebuke at?
Hellish Rebuke is 2d10.
Ah.
It's a level 1 spell.
It's level 1 bullshit.
Yes, but it is a
Yeah.
dex save, so like you would have. Yeah, I just rolled really well on the damage.
Yeah.
All right. As the crowd begins cheering and dying down a little bit, Eloda, you are immediately brought back up by a cleric with the same kind of warm sea breeze feeling as you feel your wounds start closing around you.
Garen will go over and like help you up and make sure you're good.
Well, I kind of smiles at him, like, yeah, you really showed me, old man.
He just kind of laughed. He's like, you went easy on me.
Sure, I think.
I love that.
No, let it go.
I love that in a bare knuckle brawl, Eloda won. He had a weapon and armor into the situation, then Eloda's fucked.
You had magic into this situation, Lotus.
I mean, he is a skilled fighter. Like,
I mean,
just give him some credit.
He is a trainer.
And he has superior armor to me. Like,
that's the main thing. I think you just need armor.
I think
you
that
just need armor.
also backstory-wise, it makes a lot of sense. Like, Eloda probably spent a fair amount of time in her youth getting into little brawls, so she has experience in that.
Yeah, but not fighting against a trained soldier.
No.
Loda did not get a sword until she was at least 15, you know?
A proper sword-bearing age.
Yeah.
Fuck childbearing age, sword-bearing age. The only word I can think of, like, this bearing age, like childbearing age. Oh, no, sword-bearing age. When not when you're ready for a child. When are you ready for a sword?
Listen,
The real
Lota.
question.
So listen, Lota. You have come of sword-bearing age.
Time to teach you the spears and the shields.
Dangerous to go alone.
Take
Dangerous
this.
to go now. Take this.
Yeah, Loda goes to chill with Ayana.
You did really good.
Thank you. You did too.
Thank you.
Just, I'm feeling we work better in teams than alone.
Yes. Especially since I am a healer.
Yes.
But it was fun to just see what I could do.
What'd you say?
Huh? Oh, sorry. It's fun. It was fun to just see what I could do.
Yes, I think it was very fun. I make up to use the spell and for what's to get burned.
Fight fire with fire.
You should try it again a different time, though.
Yes, I'm
On Garen again.
Well, maybe on. I don't know. Maybe. Kaylee wants to say yes. Anna wants to say no.
I mean, I'm not there. Silly joke.
I know.
Alright. As time winds down a little bit, and Garen, you have your wounds tended to by one of the clerics. Priest's voice booms out across the arena. Well, a good fight for all of you that have lost so far. But our final competitors have been chosen. Garen, Ovad, come into the arena and decide who is the Storm's Fury of the year. There's Garen, and as you see Ovar stand up promptly and just walk very slow and methodically across the stage to the center of the arena.
I think with this, Garen's like demeanor also changes, but it's just more of like he knows the skill, so he's going to kind of like, for up until now he's been pretty relaxed. Now he's kind of like, this is fighting, you know, and so he kind of does the same, where he just walks out very calmly and slowly, but he does approach him and extends a hand out, but doesn't say anything.
He does not change his bodily position, short of just bowing his head to you for a moment.
And then in return, he bows back. and then gets in his position.
You see a man pull the scimitar and dagger from under his cloak. And you can kind of see some of his shirt has ripped a little bit, and underneath it you can see peeking a little bit of metal and leather. The priest's voice booms across. You have proven your worth to Gilmarie. Now fight your fight to determine who has won the gauntlet. You may begin. And let's roll initiative.
14.
I rolled really well this time. 19. Taking this a little bit more seriously, you kind of tense up just a little too much as Ovar rushes forward towards you, brandishing his scimitar and twirling it before coming across for a slice. And at the last minute, you manage to bring up your shield, and it just skates across the front of it. I rolled a 12. It was great.
Okay.
He immediately flips it over and goes for a second swing. And this is an 18 to hit.
Matches the armor AC.
He swings across, hitting a joint in your chainmail and managing to slice. You can feel it slice a little bit into your dent, kind of bruise your body, but doesn't do too bad of damage. You take 4 slashing damage. Alright. You see him back off, the dagger coming up in a slightly defensive position. It is now your turn.
Let's see. Hold on a second, my dog.
Sherlock.
I'll go.
All right.
Time to thank our
Let's
sponsors.
see.
Sponsored by Taco Bell. Please.
Powered
So-
by Monster Energy.
What Garen is going to do is he's going to charge and going to swing down, and instead of kind of like feint with the axe and then pull it back and then touch the chest of
I can
his
hear
opponent's-
Sherlock drinking in the background.
yes, as Sherlock is lapping up water because he's a thirsty boy, and he's going to cast Inflict Wounds.
Alright, make your attack roll.
That is a 21.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, so that's 3d10 of necrotic. That's 10. Okay, 5. So 20 damage.
20 damage. So as you feint down with the axe, you see him parry with, or take it, pull up the dagger and manage to kind of catch it into a parry, as which your hand shoots out from underneath it, touching against the chest, and you feel the studs and heavy plate or heavy surface of the armor underneath it, and the necrotic energy just pushes out through your hand, and you see his shirt actually singe a little bit and kind of turn this dull grayish brown color, at least near the spots where your fingertips make contact. He kind of catches himself, pushes back, and you see his sword arm kind of come up and rub his chest a little bit for a moment and apply pressure, keeping the dagger up in a defensive position. Alright, is that your turn?
Yep.
Alright. Hello to Table Troop. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Alright, Ovar is going to rush forward, pulling his hand from his chest and swing with the scimitar. And that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
So he brings it down over top of your shield. His speed overwhelming how fast you can block with it. And it slams into your shoulder, and you're going to take 8 slashing damage. He's going to immediately follow it up with a secondary slice as he kind of pulls back and swings back around up across your armor. And that's a fucking 24.
24, definitely.
Yes. Alright, you're going to take 9 slashing damage. The second hit comes across
Second
you.
one hit a little bit. That one hit a little bit harder.
That was max damage for that one.
Oof.
All right, you see him kind of resume this very careful defensive stance with the dagger and the sword at the ready. What would you like to do?
He's just gonna go straight for the attack.
All right.
Come on. 20.
20 hits.
And that's almost max damage. That is 12 damage.
All right, 12 damage. He is not looking hot.
Yeah, Garen's kind of hurting too.
All right. As you rush forward, kind of using your two weapons to kind of or your axe to kind of swing one way and immediately kind of change direction, coming up underneath him, and it slams into the side of his armor. You can feel it dig in. You start to see a small trickle of blood coming across the blade before you pull it out and back off. All right. Let's see. This could be a close fight. At this point, it's looking a little bit rougher. You see him come forward with a dagger and try to swing towards your shoulder with it. It actually tosses it. And that's a disadvantage because he's so close. And that was the worst disadvantage I've ever had in my life. That was an 18 and a 2 for a total of 7.
That definitely does not hit.
Yeah. The dagger flies forward. You manage to kind of duck out of the way as it swings past your shoulder, landing in the dirt, kind of tipped down. And he's going to follow it up immediately with a scimitar swing, which is a 22.
That hits.
All right, and that's going to be 8 slashing damage.
Okay, yeah. Garen's hurting.
It's like, is he down?
No, he's not down. He's got health.
All right. He's not looking. I mean, Ozar is not looking great either. Ovar, not Ozar. Ozar's a different NPC I had one time. All right, it is your turn, Darren.
All right. Yeah, he's gonna go for attack. That's a 22 to hit.
That's a hit. I would also
He's
remind you
go-
that maybe smiting might be a good idea. At this
I was actually just gonna say he's smiting this time. So he's hurting, like he's real hurting, and he's he respects him enough to kind of pull out what he's kind of been saving, and use his divine smite, and yeah.
All right.
And I would say like the color of his smite is probably going to be not so divine.
Just a very hazy purple.
Yeah. So that is 11 damage for the Morning Star, and then another 15 damage on the smite.
All right. As you guys see, mid-swing, Garen's mace just light up with a dull, glowing purplish red or purplish blue energy. It just swings forward, slamming past Ovar's scimitar and just hitting him right in the center of the chest where his spell had hit earlier. And you just hear as his ribs crack into his chest, and he just gets knocked right over, hitting the ground unconscious with his sword just clattering to the side.
I would say like probably when it's smite, like just a pulse of that purple energy would come out as it from where he struck him.
Just and the crowd immediately begins roaring with applause as everyone's just clapping and excited with the finale of this fight. Eventually, a cleric comes over, and you actually see, at this point, the head cleric comes down and just kind of holds out a hand, stopping him. You see him just kind of trace a rune in the air for a moment. There's a brief glow of bluish energy across the Haveshi man, who just slowly wakes up and starts getting up very cautiously.
If he accepts, Garen will offer to help him up, but I think he, as understanding, he probably won't accept.
He does not take your hand, but it's not so much he's just ignoring it, but he's just kind of like holding his hand.
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, he is probably more like the type of culture, I'm assuming.
It feels like, I mean, there's something definitive. It's not disrespectful,
Yeah.
but more so.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, Garen's not doing like, I don't think he knows warriors type deal. So like, I think he understands, but he's offering it because that's his way. But he knows that like him not accepting it isn't a disrespect.
Mm-hmm. As he gets up and you see the head cleric walk back to the dais, and the younger one walking kind of back to his seat, Ovar gets up slowly, and once he's at his feet, you see him just kind of walk back behind you about 20 feet and reaches down, picks up the dagger off the ground, wiping it off on his sleeve. He walks towards you, just puts it into the sheath on his belt, unstraps it, and just holds it out in front of you.
He's just gonna look at him for a second and then accept. He'll accept the dagger.
To the greater fighter goes the loser's weapon. It is noble in Haveshi that warriors must give prize to the victor.
And I will accept this with great honor and use it with pride, knowing it came from a great warrior as well.
You see him bow his head and begin making his way back to his seat.
I'm assuming it's just like a normal dagger.
Yeah, I mean, it's a normal dagger as far as you can tell, though it is fairly ornate in nature. Like, there are gold inlays to the handle, and the handle's a nice, clean leather with a, you can see at the very end of it, there seems to be a claw embedded in the, a small claw embedded into the, pommel.
Yeah, he'll strap it to his belt.
Alright. As the commotion calms down slightly, a hush goes over the arena for a moment as the head cleric comes down, and you see him holding a small box in front of him. And he walks up to you, Garen. Well, for our victor this year, you must take the prize of the Storm's Gauntlet, the title of the Storm's Fury. And he opens the box, and there's just a small silver amulet, which is just a fist grasping a lightning bolt inside of it. Okay. And he just puts it over your head. After he closes the box, kind of looks at you for a moment, gives you a nod, walks out to the rest of the arena. Now that our victor has been crowned, we have but one fight more. The Storm's Fury of the Year, Garen, will be fighting against the champion of yesteryear, Thananil, Lady, Order of the Hunt. And
I have no spells.
And you get you do receive healing a bit before as this fight, or as you see Thananil walking down into the arena.
He just kind of watches as he comes down.
Were you gonna say something, Kelly?
Oh, have I ever heard of the Order of the Hunt before?
Make a history check.
Sorry.
Everyone except for Kaylee, you can actually make this history check.
Ooh. Am I proficient in history? I don't think so.
I'm proficient, but I rolled real bad anyway.
I am pretty smart, though. That's a 16.
I got a 6.
I got a 6 as well.
I'm proficient in history. Why am I
I'm
like?
not.
The two of you have no idea what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah, like.
Lo, this is more so. This is less you having heard of this before in like passing or in study. You remember your parents referring to your Thananiel, or your mother and your family. Refer to Thananiel as a hunter of the Order or a member of the Order of the Hunt, though they never went into detail what that was. But it seemed to be the organization that he worked for, essentially. Though they never really explained to you what that was, because most of them just didn't really know.
Okay, at this point, can I, like, hop the fence and go sit with Ayana and Aloda?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a fence so much as just they're a little bit forward of everyone else.
Alright, I'm gonna go stand with them.
Alright.
Just squeeze both of their hands.
Hi.
Where did you get lost to?
This here, there, and everywhere.
Hmm?
Here, there, and everywhere, you know.
Mm.
Saw an old friend, caught up. Made some
That
coin.
sounds fun.
Did you? So I want to confirm. You mentioned you were avoiding someone. Did you mention? Do we know specifically this is the guy you were avoiding? No.
Nope.
Okay. Eloda's gonna ask, like, did you see the one you were worried about?
I just stare at the man who is basically a spitting image of Lau.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only difference is that he's more elven and has different eye color and is a man.
Ah.
Yeah, the same. Like, looking now that you guys can see a very clear, like, Lo's right there, Thananiel's right there. You start to notice the similarities of the same skin tone. Thananiel's hair is just a little bit straighter, but the same exact color, just long shoulder-length hair. Same with his beard. Same features, more or less, kind of same nose, same face. His ears are a bit more prominent, and so are his cheekbones. But he is much broader by a large margin. Like, he's much larger than Lo.
Eloda gives the gentlest squeeze back to Lo's hand. This moment, like, ah, yes, I see.
Don't say anything.
Wouldn't dream of it.
What? Ah. What? Nah. Nah. What?
I want to see this play out.
Okay. I'm confused.
I like to think that since Ayana's family is so visually different, that she's just like, you guys look really similar. This is weird.
That's weird. Yeah. No similarities, though. Like, there's no reason why you guys look familiar at all.
Alright. Garen, as you walk out and you meet Thananiel in the center, you can see the two long swords sticking off of his back, and kind of this heavy plate or leather and chain armor about him. And you see up close his irises are pure silver. There are not his sclera are still white, but the iris and the pupil are silver.
Because there's like, he's just gonna remark. He said Order of the Hunt, right?
Yeah.
Order of the Hunt. Well, I guess it makes sense why you would only come down when your opponent is at its weakest.
it makes you feel
Burn,
any
get some
better.
vicious mockery on that.
Oh. My fucking computer's being an absolute bitch.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
Did you say something?
No, sorry, I was mumbling to myself because my computer was being a butt.
Okay.
Then Neil just kind of looks at you. If I had my way, I would have fought all of you. But, unfortunately, the old man just wanted me to fight the victor.
Well, you seem like you probably could have. I guess he's gonna roll, like just kind of size him up, like from a soldier's perspective of like how skilled he might be just from the way he's carrying himself.
Roll an insight check with advantage.
Okay. So it was like 19.
19. So from now that you're much closer to him, you can see that, I mean, he stands extremely upright. You can see that most of his body is very muscular, and you can see along his neck, just under his beard, is three scars going down his neck as if he was scratched by a claw. And kind of similar story in various places where you can see his face is a little pockmarked, but not very. But most of his body contains a myriad of scars, mostly seeming like claw marks or bite marks. And the way he just kind of like the way he's holding himself, and he's not really like responding to any of your taunts. He seems extremely confident in his capabilities, and you have a feeling he can back it up.
Oh yeah, he did this retort because he kind of, it was more of a I wish I could fight you at my max capacity, Goku style, but he just kind of looks at him. He's like, well, I hope that I could at least give you a bit of a warm up.
We'll see. As he takes a few steps back, or he sticks his hand out for you to shake first.
Yeah, and he does so.
Yeah. He gives you a firm handshake, and then immediately just takes a few steps back. And you see him reach back, and he pulls out a very... It's not elegant by any means. It's a pretty basic longsword. But you see it's very well taken care of from this distance. And it seems... You can kind of almost see this faint burn pattern in it that just looks like a fractal.
Okay.
As he does so, the head priest, now having returned to the dais, just announces out to the crowd. Alright. The Storm's Gauntlet of past. The Storm's fury of today. Let us see if time really weathers the storm. You may begin. And I'd like us both to roll initiative.
Ugh. I was like a 12.
Alright, I got a dirty 20. So, as you're drawing your weapons and your shield out, you see him immediately kind of duck forward in a very quick and practiced motion, swings and slices up against your side. Dealing... I have the right die for what I'm doing. 9 slashing damage.
Did he like attack against my AC?
Oh, sorry. I did not announce that because it was a clear hit. It was a 26.
Okay. I was like, I didn't know you were okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. My brain was just like, yeah, I know that's a fucking hit on all of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Immediately, he goes kind of instinctively. You see him flip his sword around afterwards and just kind of takes a step back into a defensive stance, pulling his sword back and keeping his hand out.
Whew, all right. He's just gonna go for the attack because that's really all he can do right now. Hey, a 20.
A nat 20?
Yeah.
That is a hit. That is very much a hit. All right, roll double your damage dice.
Lo just screams, "Fuck him up, Garrett!"
19 damage.
19 damage. All right.
Okay.
As you rush forward, you see that Lo, you notice this especially, the silver eyes for a moment just kind of dart right to you for just a split second and then immediately come
I don't
back
actually do that. I just think it.
They immediately come back to Garen as he's rushing forward and swings. You swing upward, hitting him in the stomach. You can feel the chainmail rattle and press against him. It's a pretty fucking solid hit.
Yeah.
Golf
All right.
claps.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, I mean that's. I would have smoten him if I didn't have to use it in the last fight.
All right. That is going to be a 22.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
All right. And you're going to take 9 slashing damage as he kind of catches himself from the blow, and immediately you see him swing down as you're pulling back, pushing off your mace to open up your guard, and just swinging across, slicing your chest.
All right.
He just takes a calm step back, holding up his sword.
I know I have no way of beating this guy. Unless I just like roll just nat 20s left and right.
I mean, you could.
Like, I don't think I'm that lucky. Yeah, that's only 15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Kind of swing forward. You do manage to kind of land a slight blow into the side of his armor, but he manages to kind of brace himself with his sword, sticking it in the ground to catch the handle and just reduce a little bit of the blow. Alright. Yes, it's his turn again. He pulls his sword from the ground and swings up towards you. That is a 28.
Yep.
Alright, and so you see him kind of swing up, and just as you're ducking back, the tip of the sword just grazes across your across your leg, leaving just a centimeter deep of a cut, and that's going to be 4 slashing damage.
Oh, that's not too bad. Garrett's still looking pretty. He's not too happy at the moment.
All right, that's your turn as he just takes his time, immediately resuming a defensive stance.
It's like, do I want to do Dreadful Aspect? Nah, he can make that save.
Who knows?
But that's a dirty 20 to hit.
That is also a hit.
All right. Hey, almost max damage. That is 12. Yeah, 12.
12 damage. All right. So you rush forward, catching yourself off this and kind of just pushing through with the adrenaline, and manage to kind of avoid his sword as it comes up trying to catch the handle of your mace again. You just slam him in the shoulder, and you just hear his shoulder pop for a moment of his offhand. Shakes it. He's starting to look a little hurt.
Yeah, Garen's also exhausted. He just,
As he steps back and kind of recoiling from the blow, he just looks at you. You see kind of a smile break out across his face as he spits a little bit of blood from inside his mouth.
Garen's having a good time. Like, he knows he's probably a little bit outmatched, but he's having a good time.
Yeah. Then Anil just looks at you. He's like, "You put up a fight, good pup." But
Puff. He's
gonna
like,
be-
is he human?
he is an elf.
Oh, he's an elf?
Yes.
Okay.
A fairly
so-
old elf by what you can see.
Garen's almost offended that he called him a pup, because he's fairly old too for an elf.
I mean, you're midlife for like
Yeah.
mid-average life expectancy. Like,
Yeah.
He looks probably, like, visibly looks 500 or 600 years old from your eyes.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I've got to end this a bit quickly then. And you see him kind of, like, catch his sword for a moment in his hand. And you see arcing from his hand itself some electricity, and this silvery kind of bolt of electricity starts shimmering down it. Immediately afterwards, he holds out his hand, which is now visibly cut, and you just see a blast of force just roil through you. I would like you to make a strength saving throw.
That is a 22.
All right, you manage to hold your ground as as the wind knocks through you, and you see Thanael just smile a little bit as he breathes deeply and just gets. He's now holding a sword with two different hands as it crackles with this electricity. Well, Jack, dude, it's your turn.
Yeah, he's like, I thought you were going to end it. And swing. And that is a 17.
A 17?
Yeah.
I have a thing. What the fuck level is he? I don't know what my own fucking characters are. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what level he's at. You feel as you rush forward and you swing, suddenly your eyes just go white as a searing pain shoots through your head for a moment. And as soon as you catch up, you see that your mace has swung through and hit the floor. And he just looks down at you. Sorry, pup. And he swings through. That is a 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Shane, question. Does it seem like once he made eye contact with me, he was like, okay, it's time to speed up this fight? Or, like, is it just he's bored?
No, it seems like after he took a bit of damage, he was just kind of like, all right, this wasn't...
I'm bored.
I'm
He's
not,
getting serious.
I can't play around this much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that Lo was not going to have to run away.
That is 17 damage total.
And I'm down.
Yeah. The sword swings through the air, crackling, and just cuts into your abdomen as I slice into my microphone. And you feel kind of the electricity just pulse through your body, and especially just a sudden spiking headache hits you before you just fall unconscious onto the ground. For those of you that are watching, you just see Garen hit the floor, and immediately Thanael just kind of wipes off his blade on his cloak and just puts the sword back to a raucous applause of everyone. Everyone seems excited to see the display of power from the Order of the Hunt. Not too soon after, Garen, you are woken up to the feel of a warm sea breeze across your back as one of the priests helps wake you up.
Yeah, he gets up. He just kind of just looks at it. You know, has he walked away or is he still there?
He's just kind of standing in the middle of the arena, looking around at everyone.
Okay. Oh, well, you definitely put up a good fight. Though, I am curious, how would have fared if I was at my best?
He just turns around. You see kind of his eyes are very intense, though he looks kind of relaxed and jovial at this moment. I just wanted to give you a bit of a fight. Would have been boring if we just knocked you out right away.
He just kind of smirks and reaches his hand out to shake it.
Yeah. He claps your hand and just gives you a very firm shake. Get yourself a drink. You deserve it. And Thanael begins walking away as the priest says, well, we've seen that age does not always slow the power of a storm. Thank you all, and thank you to our competitors, and our new Storm's Fury of the Year, Garen. And the crowd applauds around you as Thanael starts walking off.
He
Did he just walk away? He doesn't come over?
He just walks into the crowd.
Dope.
Garen kind of like slightly hobbles because he's probably still sore from that beating, and back over to everyone.
It's mostly
You did
the headache, and like you
Yeah.
still feel those the aftershocks of where the blade hit you. Still feels almost like you're getting a mild shock still.
Yeah. So he's probably like holding his stomach and just like walking back to the group.
It was quite the good show.
Yes. Though I question their whether they intended to just beat up the victor of their tournament for show by pitting him against someone like that.
I mean, from my experience, that was rather highly unusual. Speaking of, great job. I'm very proud of you. I give him a little slap on the face. I gotta go. I'm gonna just follow him. I'm gonna hide through the crowd.
Okay.
Be safe.
I'll be fine.
All right. I would like you to roll a stealth check for me.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh gosh. Is that a 6? Yep. That's a 24.
24. Okay. You begin following him into the crowd. You see him just walking through the street, towering, like, he's very, like, being as tall as he is kind of is easy to track, given he's a very odd sight and very large. So you kind of just follow at about a block away of distance. And you just see him heading towards River's Edge.
Do I think I know where he's going?
You know he's going to River's Edge. You can't really, from this distance, know where he intends on going.
I'm gonna keep on following him for a bit.
Alright. As Lo treks into the crowd, what are all you guys gonna do?
I think what time of day is it? It's been a while, I'm assuming, since the beginning.
It's getting close to evening. It's probably like 4 or 5.
Loda's gonna suggest that they probably, if judging by Loda's probably not gonna come back from here, probably meet them at the tavern. And also, Loda wants something to drink.
Garen definitely wants something to drink and probably
need a
find a
break.
place to rest.
Yes,
Okay.
and
I'm hungry.
food as well.
So you're all just going straight to the tavern, or are you getting food on the way?
I'm assuming the tavern will have food.
Yeah.
I want another caramel apple.
We can get you another caramel apple after this.
Yay!
Did any of the other competitors stick around for the end? They all filter out.
For the most part, they've dispersed. A few of them are sitting around. You see the dwarf and the gnome that you had talked to earlier just kind of chatting.
I think I'm gonna go. You think Alona feels so bad for the dwarves still? I think Alona's gonna go over there though, just to stay high and say everyone.
All right. As you approach, you hear the gnome, who you know's name is now Ballymore. He's just like, Ballis, how the fuck did they let you into the army performing like that? You're a lieutenant now? Like, yeah. What do you make of it? Officers don't always have to be the best fighters. They just have to be the best in charge. Well, you still got your ass absolutely fucking whooped by that half-orc. Yeah, I still don't. That was a hell of a hit that she hit me with. You approach during this conversation.
Yes. Tortoise addresses them both. Hello, it was an honor fighting in this tournament with you both. I hope you're faring well after the cleric's help.
I'm feeling okay. Still a little lightheaded. Yeah. Yeah, have a swing with that thing. Yeah, lumberjack or something.
I worked on a farm for quite a long time.
Ah. Like, you see Ballymore just look at him. Maybe you could learn something from her. Ask her for some lessons on how to not suck with a fucking weapon.
Oh no, I'm sure it just caught you on a bad day.
Should I ate breakfast this morning? Who doesn't
Always
eat breakfast? I'm eating meals all day. You know? Got to have breakfast, got to have your snack before breakfast, or after breakfast, you got to have your snack before lunch, you got to have lunch, you got to have a snack after lunch, you got to have a snack before dinner, you got to have dinner itself, you got to have a snack after dinner, then your pre-dessert snack, and then your dessert snack, and then your midnight snack. It's important stuff, man.
Yes, it is very important to keep yourself nourished.
Well, I'll keep that in mind before my next fight. If I have one, I think I'll stick away from the fighting pits for a bit.
I'm sure next time you will fare better.
Sure, next time if you show up, you'll kick my ass again. But I appreciate it, and I appreciate the good fight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well.
And then go
See you
back to
later.
doing the rest of the group. Bye.
Alright. You guys begin heading off to the owl.
Yes.
Alright. Lo! As you continue to follow Thananiel towards River's Edge, you start noticing the familiar route, and you do see that he is heading to the Barn Owl.
Okay. Can I slip through like one of the upper windows? Like after he's gone in, I'm just gonna go up through like one of the windows and come down that way.
Alright. You watch as he enters into the building, following from probably a good like 60 or more yards. And as soon as he enters, you find the window to your room and just kind of, as very well known to you, you just climb up the walls, having to kind of hop between them for a second before getting up into your bedroom.
Well practiced leaps.
Like you never missed a day.
I'm gonna get out of my armor and like just like get casual. Like I've been here for a while.
Okay.
I am absolutely pretending I'm saying that I didn't see him in the fighting pits. I've been here all day hanging out with Ari. Or at least that's what I'm like thinking. Like that's what's running through Lo's head right now. Like I just want to like trying to catch him off guard somehow. And she's gonna head downstairs.
Okay. As you enter the main tavern floor, you do see that Thananiel's sitting at a table kind of off towards a wall or corner. Relatively like lesser populated spot. He's just sitting there with a mug of beer in his hand.
I'm gonna go pour myself one too. Actually, no, I'm just grabbing a bottle of whiskey. And then go very quietly sit across from him and just wait.
His eyes lock on you when the first time you get within line of sight. And he just sits there, just
I'm just gonna open up the whiskey and just take a sip and just wait for him to start.
Oh, you just sit down? Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, I sit.
I didn't know if
Yeah,
you were
I
gonna
sit
change.
quietly. Just wait.
He just kind of sets the mug down, just kind of leans forward, just puts his hand on his steepled fingers for a second. Really not fucking good at this. What do people normally say in this situation? Ma, you've grown?
I don't fucking know. Hey, how are you? How's the last 13 years been, daughter that I abandoned? I don't know. Never did a follow-up call? I'm sure Ari would have told you where I went. Wasn't like it was a secret.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, which it probably won't, I just haven't been here in 13 years.
You just didn't fucking bother coming back?
You could say that. They never... No, they didn't know. Alright. I'm curious. This is very uncommon. Anything weird happen? Any weird changes
To me?
to you?
I went and lived with Uncle Barney. If that's what you're asking.
Any powers? Anything?
Why would that be any of your business?
Idle curiosity.
Seemed like you had some weird fucking shit. Thought you were a pal man or whatever.
Is that what they told you?
That's what they told me.
The average town folk don't really understand, so not surprised that they thought something was weird.
Infantilize my family.
Well, I'll give you an explanation if you answer my question.
Yeah, there's been fucking weird shit happening to me.
Huh.
I don't fucking know. It's been fine. I've been doing it. It's been chill.
I'm curious. What have you figured out how to do?
Throw a knife at him.
Just kind of ducks out of the way, watching it as it fizzles behind him.
Oh no, I'm aiming.
Oh, you're aiming?
Uh-huh. That's a 17.
17. It lands in his shoulder. He just kind of looks at it. Alright. It's different. Didn't really expect that. Your mother died whenever you were a little too young to understand this, I guess. And, frankly, probably doesn't need to be... A child doesn't need to know these things. But you're an adult, and I think you can understand an explanation, and it's not exactly a secret. If you can't tell from everything that's happened so far, not exactly a normal paladin or whatever kind of fighter you. The Order of the Hunt's a little odd. Most town folk don't really understand us because we don't really talk too much outside of our own. There's a certain conditioning we go through. Manifests its ways and different, I'll call them capabilities. We're very tolerant to poison, We are very good at tracking things. Senses are a bit heightened. We are trained to follow creatures of another realm.
What realm?
You know, the Astral Sea is a place full of very scary things.
Have I ever heard of the Astral Sea before? I feel like I got a pretty wild education, and I think that at least one person knew about it from the varying people who taught me.
Make
But
an Arcana check.
I did tend to not listen to at least one of the ones. No,
Yeah,
that's
it's not really
3
part of a
plus
common
7.
education.
Yeah, I feel like one of them, like on a rant, said it one time, and I was just like, okay.
The only thing that really comes to mind is, tales of things called astral projection, which you still don't fully understand in and of itself. But, some out-of-body experience.
And what do the things from the Astral Sea do?
In simple terms, most of them want to kill anything that's not them or enslave it and turn it into monstrosities of some sort.
Okay. That's fun. Is that why your eyes are silver now?
Call it a interesting incident that happened. That's a story for another time, though. What's relevant to you is the Order, because of our work and because of things that family make you a bit weaker in. Most of the tradition and rules that we have prevent us from having long-term romantic partners, having children, another family. It is considered against the rules, more or less.
So it was a secret love child, is that what you're telling me? Or was it just a mistake, like everything else that you do?
A bit of column A, a bit of column B. I can't say that I wanted to leave.
Sorry, Kaylee's face started just broke me. Anyways,
I didn't really want to, but I also didn't think anyone in the Order would find out about me and your mother.
Did they?
I'll give you 3 guesses on figuring out that one.
She died during a bar fight. And this was a highly orchestrated bullshit.
Well, that's not our fault. They didn't want me to go out of my way to kill your mother or anything. They just wanted me to leave.
Of course. Well, it doesn't explain the funky psychic shit I can do now.
Well, to give you a short version of what is essentially a complicated lesson,
I'm smarter than you think. Don't do whatever this is. Just tell. You can give me the short of it, but you have to tell me everything eventually.
I was just trying not to give you an education that I had to spend years trying to figure out. Creatures of the Astral Sea are oddly complicated things. I'm not saying you're dumb, I'm just saying we spent a lot of time learning about them. Beings that exist purely in the Astral Sea, being a plane mostly of, we'll call it mental energy, they have lots of capabilities to mess with your head. Most of them enslave humanoids and other creatures by basically mentally dominating them until their willpower and intelligence are sapped away. So, and even the more meager ones are capable of producing powers with their minds that we can't really normally think of. So, what the Order did, probably before it was even called the Order, they developed a series of, we'll call them mutations, that allow us to harness this a little bit better than your average Joe Schmo. It's not nearly as powerful as a Mind Flayer, but it's enough to keep us fighting. Why I asked earlier was none of us, or at least none of us documented, have ever had children. A lot of it
That's
times it
awkward.
turns us sterile. So secondary concern that caught me off guard.
That's unfortunate. I mean, I figured out that I can link my mind with people for a couple of hours. But that's the most besides the daggers, at least so far. But I'm sure that there'll be a wonderful journey of me just opening my brain to things.
I feel like well, if we weren't so solitary, being able to talk telepathically would be a very useful trait.
It only works for like a mile.
Still better than most of what they train us to do is fight, more or less. You saw what I did to your friend. He's a bit stronger than most of the creatures I deal with, so normally that pushes them back a little bit more. But he put up a good fight.
He's a good guy. I was gonna say kid, but he's like 300, so.
He's not that old.
Well, it was nice, whatever the fuck this was. Good to see you and all that. Please don't tell your order about me. That would make my life very inconvenient.
I think it would make my life a lot more inconvenient.
Okay, cool. Glad we're on the same fucking page with that one. Fuck.
No questions about why I'm here.
I figured you're just like rolling through town for whatever reason. There's some stuff happening with the Rat King. Maybe it's that. I don't know.
The hell's a Rat King?
You don't know about the fucking Rat King? It's the coolest part of this goddamn city.
If it may come as a surprise because you don't remember your childhood. I was not here that often.
I mean, like, basically, he's the king of the beggars. He can control all the fucking rats. No one knows if he actually fucking exists, but I think he does. And he protects the beggars. They're like a little guild down in the old district.
I remember some of them tried to mug me at one point.
Yeah, there's them. They've been apparently moving around a lot more, trying to expand their everything, which seems weird. They normally stick to the district, which means that something down there got disrupted. Something moving in on the territory, I'm guessing. Doesn't really bode well for the ecosystem of this city, though. Also, I really want to meet the Rat King, if at all possible, so I was going to talk to the others about it anyways, because, like, the Rat King's really fucking cool.
Well, hopefully it's not anything too untoward for this place. There's already enough going on. They don't need any extra fighting amongst them.
Other than that, I don't fucking know. You just like real through for funsies. You did some weird. You talked to the Gilmarie people, so I'm guessing that that's some diplomatic shit.
Oh, you think I'm a diplomat? Do I look like a diplomat to you?
No, I'm just saying like you rolled through and actually talked to them. That's interesting and stupid and weird.
The work of the Order, sometimes it helps to have friends of the divine or arcane. But most of what my questions, the reason why I did them that favor is for a little bit of support and information. I used to come in here and compete whenever I was in town. But this is more of a business endeavor.
Mm.
Well, this is awkward.
Do you know what Barney did for a living?
Barney.
John Norwood's brother. I believe you met at least twice.
Oh yeah, I kicked his ass once in a brawl.
He was very shit one-on-one.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm unfortunately
second
not the
degree.
type. You think it's odd? People look at me and they think, yeah, that's the guy I think I can punch in the face and he will not do anything about it.
Did you know what he did, or did John just not tell you? Did Mom just not say?
Oh, the fact he stole. I knew he was a thief.
I mean, it was a lot more than that. But yeah,
Huh.
that's what I've been up to. So, you know, another reason not to fucking say anything to the hunt. It's like, keep it on the DL. I just
Oh, I
don't
mean-
want.
The Order doesn't give a shit about common thieves.
Okay.
You could kill the king and we wouldn't really care.
Joe, that is more the concern, because,
Did you kill the king?
no, just stole shit from a lot of very, very high up people.
I guess troublemaking also runs in the blood. Alright.
Get the fuck out of here. I mean, if you need help with whatever the fuck it is you're doing, hit me up. I'm probably going to be here for a bit, but
Well, I'll try not to get you involved.
thank you.
Don't want to put you towards untowards risk. But if you need my help while I'm in town, I'm certain you can find a way to find me.
Where are you staying?
Mostly in a camp outside of town.
What edge? I'll find you.
I always had a bit of a thing for what are they called around here? Old Moreau. They don't ask.
Mm,
I kill whatever thing happens to be threatening their crops. They give me a little bit of shelter and a little bit of food. Good people out there.
okay. Well, nice talking to you again, or whatever. I don't know how to do this either.
At this point, the three of you walk into the door, and relatively, it takes you a second to look around for see if Lowe's around, and you see Lowe's sitting in the corner across the table from Thananil.
Before approaching, Loda tries to make eye contact with Lo to, signalize, like, do you want us over there? Do you want us to stay over here? Like, as much communication as you can do with eye, like, raise the eyebrow.
There's the gesture of hold off.
Okay. Loda encourages everyone else to go with her, like, towards the bar.
Your friends are
They
here.
know each other.
I would assume that they did.
How?
We can talk about that later.
Okay.
Your friends finally arrive.
I'm gonna go talk to them. I'll see you if we need you. Or whatever. Run into you again out there.
Alright. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
That seems like an awful lot.
He just immediately throws back his drink, just kind of sets it on the table. It is. And he just walks out.
Go stand up. Half of that bottle of whiskey is gone, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Head on bar. Just the biggest sigh.
Did Garrett notice the similarities?
Oh yeah, I mean, short of being a
Yeah.
half elf, she is a spitting image of Thenaniel.
So that's your dad.
That's the worst. I mean, he didn't raise me.
That's your dad?
We literally look exactly alike. Except for the eyes. And, like, maybe my hair's curlier. And, like, he's tall.
You look like your parents?
I look like him. I got my mom's curls, and that's about it. And, like, the height.
I don't look anything like my parents. But then again, Genazis usually look really different.
That is correct.
I didn't know that was a thing, looking like your parents.
Genetics. Though apparently I wasn't supposed to happen, which is fun.
What?
Kind of makes me wish I had a bit more steam in the engine.
That don't make it weird. No,
To where I could have, like, you know, hurt him a little bit more for you.
Okay, well, no, it was more like he was just like, oh, like, my ability is, like, apparently we're supposed to be able to have children in general, so that's why it's fucking weird. That's more what he was saying than, like he didn't... How many people in this fucking room were an accident? I'm guessing half of us, like, more than half. It happens.
Sorry, I said a very dumb thing.
Birth control isn't really a thing.
What? What's that?
Oh God. I am not explaining this to you tonight. Ayana literally asked me any other time. Big swig of whiskey.
I think today has been filled with quite a lot of strenuous encounters. I think it best if we just drink, relax, and rest.
I will second that. Yes, and eat.
Do you guys want to hear all about the Rat King? And then I just tell them everything I know. I'm like changing the subject.
Oh my god.
Elotus taking notes.
Oh yeah, Garen will probably like taking.
I want to
memory
meet the
notes.
Rat King so bad.
It's literally been a dream since I was a child to meet this man.
We should go fight him.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think we have any other plans, so might as well see what the Rat King's all about.
I mean, there's like weird shit happening in that part of town anyways. The beggars are moving in ways that they don't normally move. So
Interesting. Oh,
They
Be worth
usually
checking
move in a certain way.
well, they usually stick to the district and like maybe a couple spots to beg, but like they're like moving in on territory, which isn't
Oh.
something that the gangs normally do, or at least that gang doesn't normally do. We wouldn't really call them a gang, they're more like a guild. I don't know. This city's fucking weird. Keep
Do you
on
want a
drinking.
pickle?
drinking and
Oh, wait, no. Don't you do like this thing where you have a shot of whiskey and then eat a pickle, or the other way around? Isn't that a thing, a pickle shot?
yes, I've heard of this. It's I've done it once before from one of my soldiers. I think it's you breathe in, breathe out halfway, take the shot, sniff the pickle, then bite it, and then breathe out.
This sounds
I grab shot glasses and start pouring shots. I'm just like reaching across the bar. I make eye contact with Aerie, and it's just like the like big eyes of like fuck.
You see her just kind of like, You get the feeling that she definitely saw everything that was going on and is just kind of letting you do your thing.
And I will pour shots for everyone.
Including Ayana.
Oh yeah, Ayana's doing this. I will.
Garen's
There's
like-
no choice.
Garen's like, just this one.
I'm gonna grab a pail from behind the bar as well and place it next to us, just in case he's.
What's that for?
And
You'll see.
sometimes shots
Then?
can fuck with your tummy a little bit, but do it anyways. I'm not gonna peer pressure you if you don't want to do it, but it could be fun. You
So
like
this is like the spicy, what? Spicy drink?
it's a lot spicier.
Yes.
And not
Oh.
spicy, just strong.
It could burn a little though.
It's going to burn, for sure.
I'm not gonna peer pressure
Really?
you, but I'm gonna peer pressure you.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. And the way that all
sounds-
friends do.
Doesn't sound good. Why'd you do it?
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't like it after you try it once, we won't pressure you to do it again. But I'm just saying, try it. If you don't want to try it, it's fine. But, like,
So drink it and then eat the pickle?
you gotta do that weird breath thing that Garen was describing. But yeah.
Okay.
Let's try it.
And also sniff the pickle before you bite into it, I guess.
Yes, it's weird.
I know what a
know,
pickle
but
smells like.
Yeah,
it's part of the
apparently it's like a
sensation.
Okay.
like a flavor combination, you know, except that it's like in order. It's like I was about to say like taking a tequila shot, and then I realized you've never had tequila. Tequila, you also have to do it in a certain order for it to taste good.
What, do you also have to sniff a pickle with that?
No, you like lick a piece of salt, drink this thing, and then suck the lime.
Oh.
You don't have limes or salt here; they're too expensive. But I mean, it is like those are expensive things. It's a very poor bar.
Yeah, I mean, like, salt is... There's a reason there's the worth your weight in salt kind of
Yeah.
motif.
Okay. I guess she tries it. Does the breathing thing. Sniffs the pickle while making like a face. I think the pickle makes it a little bit better. But then I also feel like the weird drink kind of messed up the pickle and it doesn't taste as good as it usually does.
And you don't have to do it again. It's okay.
Now you know you don't like it. So it won't be a question in the future. Eloda will also take that. Do the weird pickle breath shot thing.
Same.
Yeah, Garen as well.
I don't know if I don't like it or if I do like it. Or if I just like it because of the pickle part.
This is the alcohol slowly hitting Ayana.
Yeah. The feeling like oh, I hated that, but I could just do another one.
I will hop by behind the bar and like mix her a drink that like will. It's very light, won't taste like alcohol, but will still have a little bit of alcohol in it. You know, like one of those. And then I'll hop back and slide it over. This might be more your speed. There's not a lot of the spicy juice in it, but there's a little
Oh,
bit.
okay.
You won't really taste it.
I imagine it's just an odd, like, sugar, wine, and whiskey mix.
Yeah.
Given that, like, you know,
Like
most common
a-
mixers don't really exist around here.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's some bastard mixed drink I can make.
It's not like we have juice.
There's
and we're
no
like,
little
"Ah,
umbrella
yes."
in it.
Yeah.
Well, like-
They probably don't even have water here. It's like beer or nothing, bitch.
It's
So
it's ale, whiskey, and a little bit of wine. That's really all you got. Maybe some,
I
like-
enjoy my little fruity drink. Very
As fruity as it gets.
a little,
Uh,
little wine fruity drink.
to all continue drinking and celebrating, I guess. Celebrating Garen's victory as the winner of the Storm's Gauntlet this year, claiming the title Storm's Fury. You all drink yourselves into a merry little stupor. And that is where we will end for tonight. So, thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed tonight with lovely bits of lore drops every fucking where. And I hope we all had fun. So, thank you all for showing. Have a wonderful evening. Sleep tight. And we'll see you all later. Night, everyone.